12 inches in a foot.
12 months in a year.
12 zodiac signs.
Jesus' 12 apostles.
King Arthur's 12 knights at the round table.
And Lucas's 12 groomsmen. Welcome
Let's go.
everyone to the 8th episode of 12 Delves, where I, Lucas Smith, your host and soon-to-be married man, lead my guest, one of my 12 groomsmen, into a deeper dive of our relationship through different topics, games, and a little bit of drinking. Joining me today is the Slim Reaper himself, Daniel Verdeja. Daniel is a supersonic Sith Lord and insurance baller by day and a mustache-twirling poker villain by night. Let's start this off with a shot of Daniel's chosen Jack Daniels.
Let's do it.
You do the honors of pouring it for us.
Yeah? All right. I'm not going to kill us here. How about that? Like, some really friendly shots.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, here you go. You ready?
I'm going to put...
You're a big Jack Daniels guy, I assume, considering this is everything
I
you
am.
chose here?
I am.
Okay.
It's just, like, if I'm going to, like, drink a lot, yeah, this is my go-to, so.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Here you go. That wasn't bad.
It's a little sweet.
Yeah, what is that like? That's like
So that's
honey, whatever?
Yeah, that's the honey one. So
that's not bad at all.
All
All right, so I'm
hide
sure
that here.
sure people have noticed at this point. This is possibly the most beautiful. This is the most beautiful view in any of the.
It's right.
pods.
It's
And
pretty
they're right.
nice.
This is the best view in Miami. Right now, we are on Daniel's balcony. So Daniel lives, I guess, in Coral Gables. Versailles is right down the street down there.
Yeah.
I work right across the street, and I come to
Right
Daniel's
there?
house on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or whenever he's free or whenever I'm free. We usually come here and watch something or chill while we eat lunch on the little tables that we have right here, actually. But as I have with all of my groomsmen, want to start off way in the beginning, how we met each other, our first memories with each other, and all that. Wait, before we do that, actually, let's crack these open.
Let's do it.
Let's get some casual drinking going. I've never had these before.
First sip, man. Let's see how you like it.
Let's see, some lukewarm Jack Daniels Coke. Dude, this is like super easy to sip on.
Yeah. I feel like the next ones that are colder are gonna be better,
Yeah, I'm sure.
but it's not bad.
I'm sure, but no, it's not like warm at all, which is good.
I hadn't tried the Coke Zero one.
Oh, because
They have regular Coke ones too.
Oh, okay.
I
I
like
didn't know that.
drinking when I make it myself with Coke Zero, but in the cans I've only tried like the normal Coke.
okay,
So
cool. I didn't know they had both.
it's better for you. Zero sugar.
Yeah, 0 sugar and whatever else they put in there
Yeah,
to make
pretty
it
much.
taste like that. But yeah, back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time meeting me?
I gotta be honest, I think I do.
Okay.
But it was technically just the first time I ever met you.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we had any interaction outside
Uh-huh.
of hey, what's up, like introducing ourselves.
Yeah. Well, what was it? Because I don't remember, honestly.
I think it was Bianca Hernandez's birthday party.
Her birthday party, like her 15th, like freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was there, so probably. I don't remember that.
I think I
was wearing like blue
remember.
pants or something like that.
Huh?
I think I was.
I mean,
wearing, like, blue
everyone
pants.
was. Everyone used to dress in like the bright pants back
Uh-huh.
then. That was the thing.
It was a One Direction craze
A craze.
that started
That's
it.
facts. No, but I remember meeting you there. You're much smaller, as we all were.
I was like a foot. And a
But
half shorter.
you specifically, because you hadn't hit your growth spurt yet.
Yeah, I was like a foot shorter.
That's
Actually,
what it was. For
Yeah.
some reason, I think I just knew of you.
maybe.
So,
I was like Vine famous.
huh?
Not really.
I don't know. I never used. Do you know I never used Vine?
That's crazy.
I
I mean,
got-
you don't use TikTok now, so
Yeah,
that shouldn't surprise
I don't
me.
believe in that. I don't believe in TikTok.
YouTube Shorts guy.
YouTube Shorts guy, big YouTube Shorts guy.
But I was gonna say I don't remember the first time meeting you. I could say like one of my earliest memories was kind of just like at Carla's house.
Yeah.
Just like any of those like Gettys that she used to have, like pool stuff, or like I remember one specific like super early memory was one time me and John Muya like pulled up to St. John Newman to play Pokemon Go, and you were there on your bike with like I think Ricky and Jared or something. I don't know who you were with. I don't remember, but I remember like you being there, and we pulled up and we're like, yo Daniel, and you like pulled up, and then John was like asking like who is that or whatever. But that was That was one of my
so-
earliest memories of you.
Were you in youth group with us?
I don't think I went to youth group when you did, because I started going to youth group. Like, you guys had it your freshman year because you did like
Because of confirmation.
and you had to do it.
I didn't stay in it after that.
Exactly. I went after that. Like the next year
Okay.
when they came back to like be mentors or whatever for the
So,
next group, I had gone there.
I guess it has to be. I mean, I'm almost positive I met you at that birthday party, but I
I
guess
was there.
the
so-
first interactions, like actual relationship building conversations we had,
Mhm.
would have been at Carla's for those
Probably.
game nights.
Yeah,
Weird enough, probably with John Abascal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like
because I
Chrysia,
knew
too,
him.
back then. Yeah.
Yeah, but even like I didn't know Chrysia. Like of all those people, like small world, like I knew John from basketball.
Yeah,
camp.
yeah.
So I
From,
guess
what's it
because
called?
you best of the rest stars. Man.
Shout out best of the rest.
Shout out best of the rest. If they were still doing it, I'd be there. Swear every year. I'm like 24 years old.
With 9-year-olds.
No, but yeah, I think that would have to be the very start of the very start of where our relationship got its beginnings.
The very first days.
Yeah.
I feel like after me and Carla started dating, obviously we hung out like even more. But I feel like the first like initial thing that got us closer was when I was in Dade and you were at FIU and we started playing basketball together.
Yeah.
And like I would invite you to play basketball at Dade every once in a while and stuff like that. I went to FIU with you, I believe, like a couple times early on. And like that is really where we started like hanging out, because before it was always group setting. Like Carla was like way closer to you and me, and it wasn't really like we had like a huge relationship. It was kind of just like we were friends because we were all in the same group. But like with basketball, it was like you came on your own. Like Carla wasn't there, and like it was just like me and my Dade friends or whoever the hell else I invited that day. I feel like that's where it first took like our relationship took like a bigger step than just kind of being like
like it's so
friend
yeah,
group,
yeah, exactly. I agree.
And then after that, it's kind of the same thing I mentioned on Ricky's pod. Like, whatever, it was basketball grew us. I sprained my ankle by stepping on your foot one time in basketball at St. John Newman.
At St. John Newman, yeah. With Dario, no?
With Dario.
Dario,
Yeah.
sorry.
Shout out Dario.
Shout out Dario.
He's definitely watching.
Fire. Sorry, Dario. But I remember him too. He was there playing with us.
Yeah, no, he was there.
I think it was literally
game.
just us three,
And maybe Jose Enriquez, my friend that went to
Oh,
the
you're
South,
right.
I think he was there too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, after that, it's kind of like,
dude, you're gonna get me bad. I feel like I'm just gonna say this now. I've like fixed my glasses every other second.
oh, that's fine.
So
now that you pointed it out, people are going to be watching for it. But I promise you,
that's
no
the
one
goal.
noticed
So
before
now
you
I'm
said
not
that.
gonna do it.
All right.
Now I'm not gonna do it. It's like Ricky in the mirror.
Not exactly. Now you called
Yeah,
yourself out.
I
you
called
can't
myself
do it
out, so
anymore.
I can't do it.
After that, I feel like I don't know if there was anything significant that was like an event, but as I mentioned with Ricky, there was like different things that like got us closer over time.
Yeah,
Like the Bimini trip where we went with your parents on your boat, like to
Yeah.
Bimini.
that was fun.
That was super fun and like got us super. Oh, actually, before that, the Tallahassee trips that we took together, which we were in the
True.
car for each other with each
yeah,
other.
yeah. That's
7 hours both times, back and forth actually, so 14 hours both ways, and we got into a bunch of random adventures with those two random girls that random to me, I didn't know them, but like that we picked up at Ave Maria, that were like a friend of your friend or something like that.
I went to school with one of them,
Yeah,
and then the other one was, I don't remember if it was her roommate, but her friend that she met at school that I had never met either.
that's probably gonna get picked up at Mike.
Yeah, sorry.
Apologies.
Some really cool guys driving his car very loud down the street down there. Yeah, those trips were fun. Did we not do Gainesville before you went to Gainesville?
No, I only went like a couple times and like visited my sister, but I don't think we went like.
So it was
with a friend group.
Tallahassee every time.
It was Tallahassee twice. Remember those two girls from Ave Maria? Like one of them, we were in the car like already like an hour from Ave Maria, and like she's like, "Everyone be quiet!" Like my mom's calling me. She answers the phone, and she's like, "Hey, mom," and we're all like, they're like super confused. None of us know this girl except Daniel. Like
I didn't know
kind
her.
of know her.
I don't know.
Or that's the one that you didn't know.
That's the one I didn't know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
none of us knew her, and she's there like, "Hi, mom," or whatever, and then she's like, "Yeah, in my dorm." We're all there like, "What the fuck?" And whatever, like they have a whole conversation. She hangs up. She's like, Yeah, like I didn't tell my mom that I was coming to Tallahassee, and we're like, oh, we're literally kidnapping this girl.
Literally, we were all like,
and
I cannot imagine doing that to my mom.
And then she's like, don't worry, I told my brother, and we're like, okay, I guess, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, those trips were fun, and that was before like I really got close to Ricky also, because Ricky, I kind of met him at the same time around you. And then like through the game nights got a little bit closer, but then he went to FSU and you were at FIU and I was at Dade. So like during that time, like we hung out with you a lot.
Yeah,
like
during college
Ricky.
it was way easier for us because I would go to a lot of the game nights still. I think those game nights also are some moments where, because we played board games.
Yeah.
And essentially it's these games that like kind of force you to learn more about people.
Yeah.
But I guess
I guess.
Yeah, you know, because you're asking, you know, you're playing like Papelitos and you think of whatever comes to your head.
Yeah.
And like if I say like Thanos and he says Iron Man, you're like, oh wait a minute, like something's in common here.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. Sorry, the race is about to finish. That's why I was like,
oh, good.
It's lap 18 of 19, I think.
Damn, they're pretty fast. They're like quick then.
No, well this is a sprint. Yeah. They do a lap in a minute and 30 seconds, just about.
Yeah, but it's not like, isn't NASCAR like 200 laps or something like that?
Yeah, no, but this is a sprint. Their race tomorrow. So the sprint is like a new thing that they added. Essentially, it's like a mini race that allows you to get, like, since it's a smaller race, it's smaller points that you're able to get. Because that's what you race for. You race for points. Like each position, from the first 10 positions give you points, and obviously the higher you are, the more points you get.
Like Mario Kart.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mario Kart is this.
Yeah.
So this sprint is like a smaller version of the race that they do in the middle of like the race weekend. It's just like a third of the actual race. Is
it just kind of like for the most part for the fans type of thing, like that they added in, or is it just so you could get like a little bit of points here?
It's like a grab for, I guess, like the lower teams, because some cars just can't. Some cars don't cut it throughout 56 laps, whatever. I think tomorrow's 57 laps, but they can go really fast for those 19.
Okay, so it's a way to show off the cars that have like different skills.
Exactly. It gives more of a range of cars a chance to score points in the season.
For context, we're talking about F1.
Formula One. Yeah.
Daniel's a huge fan.
Sorry. It's, yeah.
I should mention, I wore my outfit as I do every time based on my groomsmen a little bit.
Okay.
This is like a car shirt that I had. I don't even know. I don't even know what car this is. It's a Volkswagen, I guess. Which
it says Rabbit Extreme.
Exactly. So
it looks like a super souped up Jetta.
There you go. I hope you like it.
It's sick. For you. I love it.
I'm also wearing these chubbies because I thought they kind of looked like a race flag.
A checkered flag.
Yeah, I don't know if they even use these. Do they use them in F1 also?
A
like
checkered
Formula
flag?
1? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if
at the very end of the race. Look, see it right there?
Yeah. I didn't know if it was maybe only a NASCAR
thing.
That
was perfect timing. That's creepy. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my outfit inspired by.
I love that. My outfit was actually inspired by you too. I'm just wearing a UM shirt.
That's absolutely disgusting. At least you're wearing a Dolphins hat. That lets it balance it out a little bit.
There we go. But yeah, so we were discussing before the origins of our relationship, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, just because Ricky was away for his 4 years of college, so it made it easier for us to get along because we were just going to more. We're hanging out more together. And then like Xbox helped a lot too.
Yeah. I think so. Like leading past when I went to Gainesville, even really after Gainesville, because when I went to Gainesville, I feel like we didn't really talk as much, except if I was down here and then you came up like for Carlos 21st.
Yeah, that was fun.
And yeah, as I mentioned in Ricky's pod too, but you guys slept in my bed. Oh, you had like a bad like stomachache that whole weekend, or like
I did.
That morning you went to Dunkin' or something and got like a coffee or something.
No, I don't know what it was. I just felt horrible, like even the day before. And then I ended up taking a bunch of stomach medication, like the day of.
Yeah.
And at night, even like the pregame, I was like, I can't really do anything right now. And I ended up having like a drink before we left, and we were out, and I was like, screw it, I'm here. And I just kind of pushed through the night. No, thankfully, I'm so glad I did because it was super fun.
You were also a big reason that Carla was like standing at the 21st, like I mean at the bar actually, like after a while, you and me were kind of like passing her back and forth.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Barely standing there. We're like, all right, we gotta get out of here.
That's true.
But
she almost did some crowd surfing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
if we would have let her, she would. She wants to do it at the wedding. Like, actually, she told me she wants to crowd surf at the wedding.
It doesn't surprise me at all. That's such a Carla thing. Like, I could see her like climbing onto a stage and be like, okay, like you catch me, and she's like organizing everyone.
Yeah,
I see it perfectly.
Like telling people beforehand that their role in the wedding is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna crowd serve. You're gonna have.
You're gonna be the one holding my elbow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It's like her great grandmother.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should mention that you've known Carla even longer than I have. The reason why we got close in the first place at all is because you went to St. John Newman with Carla since you were how old?
3
years old. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a pre-K 3, also. So. And all the way until 8th grade.
Oh yeah, because Ricky left.
Because Ricky left. Yeah.
You were there the whole time.
Loser.
Eagle pride.
Eagle
strong.
pride, man.
And also St. John Newman was like a small,
super tiny school.
30 kids, right? Like in your class or whatever. It's not like there was multiple classes. Like you guys were in.
That was the class.
Yeah, every class together from pre-K 3 to 8th grade or whatever. So
pretty much.
You guys all got really close, and she was in every class from 3 years old to 14 years old with you. So,
yeah, I mean, basically, it was literally someone you sit with at lunch every day for 13 years.
And you've mentioned before that in St. John Newman there was kind of like 2 groups, kind of like it was like separated, and you were like the middleman, right?
Yeah,
like you were friends with like both sides pretty equally.
I would say I was closer with the girls in Carla's side, I guess, in Carla's group. Just outside of school, if we were to hang out with the girls, it was them most of the time. Like outside of like birthdays and stuff where like our entire class gets invited.
Like going to Sunset or the Falls.
Yeah, we were Falls kids. I couldn't do Sunset.
Yeah, I was too. I went to Sunset maybe once, and I feel like it was like...
Yeah, it was a little off character, you know what I mean?
It was just too far from it wasn't our hood.
They're not my streets.
It wasn't the hood of Kendall.
Yeah. Shout out to A-Rod. Yeah, it wasn't the hood of Kendall. Not my hood.
Mm-hmm.
South Miami, no way. No.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was our group with the girls. But even so, like in like, it was more so like in school, like I could talk with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The guys weren't as separated. The guys were. It was much easier because we all played Xbox.
Yeah.
That was like the big. I mean, we still play Xbox,
yeah.
But you know, that was the way that all of us shared. Like, if there was a reason we were speaking, it was because of something that happened on Xbox the day before.
Yeah.
And like we were all together on it.
Yeah.
I
feel like I didn't really play. I played video games growing up, and I kind of took a break from it, like in middle school, even like into like halfway up to high school. There was like a 4 or 5 year gap where like I didn't play video games, and I feel like I missed out on like a lot of conversations and like friendships that would have developed further with kids from like my middle school of St. Kevin.
Yeah.
That like I would have still been friends with if I would have played video games with them.
Mm-hmm.
And like continue that throughout, because
it's weird.
Yeah, it's like a huge part of hanging out. Oh yeah, do you wanna mention?
Oh, disclaimer. Yeah, I have a cough, and I'm gonna really try my best to not cough as much because I don't want to kill everyone's ears.
I think that was pretty good going off to the side, and that's the first one.
Yeah, and I threw my hand in there. I threw a little protective barrier.
I think it worked.
Okay, I hope so. If not, I'm sorry. I apologize, and I apologize for the future. It's not gonna be the only time.
Yeah. But yeah, Xbox.
I see it, and at the same time, I have to say it's weird because I still think Xbox can only take a relationship so far.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of kids that we used to play Xbox with that I haven't talked to quite literally since I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we would play Xbox almost every day after school.
I guess that could have happened with me and kids in
Yeah, so I would say it depends. I think it's more so when you play, it's not just playing Xbox, but when you do those little things with people that you already have, you know, like with me and like Ricky, or like me and Jared, like it's people that we have relationships already built with, and then to add on top of it. Like
Yeah.
we have this
It's another
time
layer.
that we are super goofy, and it's just it kind of adds. It's like this protective bubble
Yeah.
where you really can just be dumb.
Yeah, and it's also like I talk to you throughout the week, probably like 4 or 5 times a week because of Xbox.
Yeah.
But then I also like see you at least once a week because I come here, and then usually like we'll also see each other on the weekend, maybe 1.5 times per week if you want to put like a statistic on it. But the point is like
advanced stats.
Exactly, advanced stats. See you 1.5 times a week. But like it's not like just on Xbox. Like I see you in person, and because of that, Xbox is just like another layer of
exactly.
I talk to you and like things of the day-to-day that you wouldn't specifically know if maybe we just saw each other on like the weekends or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's
just
the perfect
adds
way.
like a bunch of like, and then it also creates like
jokes.
So many new jokes and like stories and whatever that comes from it as well. So
it does create those new experiences.
So to give context too with like our Xbox relationship. We didn't start playing really Xbox with each other, I would say, until like COVID is really where I started joining like your parties with like all of your like frat brothers, and like I met all of those guys. Like I didn't know, I mean I knew Jared like vaguely, like I didn't know him very
from
well.
Stories pretty much.
No, I had met him like you at like parties that you had at your house in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I had met him a few times and like talked to him, but I wasn't like at all close to him. Like I never really like talked to him.
Yeah.
And then but through Xbox I met like Carlos, Eric, Umbe. Like I didn't know any of them at all before that.
I think the reason was because Ricky was like, you should play Fortnite with us. Because I never played Fortnite, so I can't take any credit.
Yeah.
Like I'm horrible at that game. It's atrocious. But
yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am.
No, I mean I haven't played with you in like 2 years.
Exactly.
You never get on anymore.
But funny enough, then through the only other game that you play,
Rocket League.
Also, I feel like, as dumb as it is, the fact that we were playing that game so often together. Plus, it was weird because like it's a video game, but I was learning the game through you.
Yeah.
Because you were way better than me.
Yeah, I started.
So you were like giving me tips as we played, and like that was like me like building, I guess my skills on the video game up. Literally alongside you while we're playing together. So I think that helps in a relationship too. It's like it's a bonding experience as funny as it is over like a video game.
My Rocket League Padawan.
Literally. Except I'm Anakin.
No, at this point I feel like you're on par with me. Like
nah, not yet.
Maybe like a smidge under, but compared to like how we started, like how everyone started when I started playing with like you and everyone else, like everyone else was like terrible back then. You picked it up like pretty quickly. Like you got good fast on it. But yeah, like definitely through Xbox, starting more in like the COVID times is where we got even closer. And then like the game nights happened throughout all this time. It still continued. The trips, going to the ranch.
It's my favorite. I love game nights.
You're a Papelito's #1 fan.
I love that.
So Papelitos, if you don't know, is just a different version of charades, kind of.
Yeah.
But this guy, any chance we get, wants to play it, and I love it too.
I think it's hilarious.
I love it too.
It's a good. I show all of my friend groups that game. Everybody has played it, and everyone always loves it.
It's good, and it's.
That's Lucas's office.
That's my office right down there.
So he just walks across the street.
So yeah, walk across this street during lunchtime. Come up here, and we on the balcony. We always have remote romantic lunches.
Super. I bring a candle out here with a little glass jar on top so it doesn't go out.
Kidding. We literally eat inside every time.
We literally watch TV every time.
Literally never eating out here. But
so it's just me? That's cool.
He thinks it's just him. Little does he know.
Lucas is the best.
The mic is still on.
Swear to God. I strive to be like Lucas when I grow up. I swear to God. He's just such a put together person. He's gonna be a great husband. He was a great boyfriend, now a great fiance. Will be a great husband. He's just killing the life game. You know, I can't give enough props to him.
All right, I think we covered for the most part the different stages of our relationship, how we met, how we got a little bit closer, and over the years more and more.
I think so. So now we're here.
So now we're here.
So now we're here.
Well, as I mentioned, another like new layer of our relationship is that you moved here.
Yeah.
How many months ago at this point? 3, 4?
I moved in here with my girlfriend, Caro.
Shout out, Caro.
Shout out, Caro. This is her apartment. Well, it's our apartment. We moved here in June. Technically, we started moving in here. It wasn't until like late June that we were actually officially, for the most part, settled in. And even, I think it was already by then that you were, like, I didn't have a sofa when Lucas was coming to eat lunch with me.
I think the first time I came, it was just like a few like foldable chairs
and a foldable table.
Yeah, we ate just there in the corner.
And the TV was like on the floor.
Yeah, but no, it's been cool. Like every week I come in, and it's like, oh, we added this frame, we did this, we did this.
Yeah, you're included too. Yeah,
it's like me, you, and Caro. It's like our apartment.
Exactly. It's basically our apartment. Your guest bed is right there too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, perfect. My bedroom.
Yeah, your bedroom with the Lego. I decorated it with Legos and stuff. Not because I like Legos. It's only because of Lucas, of course.
Yeah, he knew I was going to sleep there.
Yeah.
I need something to play with if I wake up too early in the morning.
Exactly. Or if you can't fall asleep at night. Yeah.
There you go. But it's good. It's been cool to see the progression of it over time, and I see it like pretty much weekly.
Yeah.
More on this later, though, because I want to touch on something else that has to do with this.
Okay.
And it's like a bigger picture thing, but that has to do with this. But are you ready to get into the first official segment of the podcast?
Sure, let's do it. Is this the questions?
So the first official
I'm afraid of this.
Of the question
I've been freaking out about this.
All right, so we have 5 questions. They're questions that you borderline should, kind of can know about me, but at the same time, it should be a little bit difficult as well.
Okay.
I think you'll do all right. A few of them are like multi-layered different parts, so like you might get some and not the rest of it or whatever.
That's fine. Okay.
First 4 questions are about me. Last question is Carla related.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I'll even get the Carla one.
Yeah. So
I feel like it's funny because I think I've watched every single podcast or every single episode.
Yeah.
I for sure up to this point, and I know all the Carla answers.
All right.
But I feel like you're not going to do me like that.
Well, I mean, I base each of the questions that I put, like, based on what I think the person would know.
Yeah.
So her question, I'll tell you now, is, like, kind of straightforward. Either you know it or you don't. So it might be a quick, like, oh, this is the answer, or, like, you have no idea. But
I think that's going to be all of them. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, well,
I'm excited and nervous.
Let's get into the first one. The first one, Carla thought this was a bit of an iffy question that I should include or not, because she says it doesn't necessarily have to do with me. It has to do with something like separated from me, but I think it's fair. I'm going for it.
Okay.
So, what are my 2 parents' names?
Oh my God, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You know, it's so funny. I need to know your dad's name because I was in that skit with him. Well, not with him, for him.
Yeah.
I don't remember my name in that skit. For context, for his dad's 50th birthday, he made him. This guy is very talented. He made him a video for his birthday.
30 for 30.
Yeah, basically, he used to be on 30 for 30 about his dad's best IM performance ever.
Yeah, he hit a game winner in intramurals, and the way he tells the story, you think he won the Super Bowl. But because of his exaggeration on the story every time he tells it.
Right in front of the basket in the 3-point line because we needed a 3-point to win. So I get the ball and I see the clock.
I saw him when Eddie got the ball.
4.
And I knew what he was going to do.
3.
He had that look in his face.
And I look at Tim and he's going like this. Throw me the ball. Throw me the ball. And I said, oh no, this is my moment to shoot. And I went like this. Came up for the shot. The crowd was.
Regarding the shot was beautiful. The shot was perfect.
People there in the crowd were going wild, and Tim was left like this.
We did a 30 for
I
30.
can't believe. No, it's crazy that I don't actually know these names. I want to say Joe, and it's not Joe. Joe Smith.
I'll wait till you lock it in before I give a real reaction.
It's Smith the Gator Man.
Mm-hmm.
I know his Instagram handle before I know his name, but what's the first part of it?
Exactly. His Instagram handle is like his name, the Gator Man.
That's brutal. Am I turning red? I'm so embarrassed. That's crazy.
I love this question.
I wish. Because you know what's funny? I'd never call parents by their names.
Absolutely not.
So it's even Carla's parents that I've known. Even Carla's dad is Mr. Ramon. And I have known him since I was in diapers. He was my cross-country coach. Oh, Gatto's here.
There's Gatto.
Hey, Gatto. Gatto has a gala tonight, so I don't think she's going to come out here and mess up her hair.
Probably not.
Dude, is it Joe? Is your dad's name Joe?
Is that your final answer?
Nah, I'm so sure.
You locked in with that?
Can I look it up on my phone?
No, they watch every episode too. They're watching.
I'm so sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I am the worst.
To be fair, I feel like I only really know your parents' names because we went to Bimini with them, and like I spent like substantial amount of time with them, and like my parents, like you kind of only see them like every once in a while if you're at my house or stuff like that, but you never spend like time with them like that. So I don't blame you, but you want to throw out a name? Guess it.
I don't want to throw out Joe. I don't.
You want to hit
Ed? Your dad's name is Ed Smith, the Gator Man.
There you go. You got that.
And then your mom's name.
Shit. There
you go, Mr. Smith. I got you. I think there's a while. I still don't know if he knows my name. So
he might not. To be fair, he might not know. So
I think it's even playing grounds.
Yeah.
But Mrs. Smith, I feel so bad. Oh my goodness.
I can give you a hint if you want one.
Could you give me a hint?
It starts with an M.
An M?
Yeah, and it's not like a common name for people our age. It's kind of an older name at this point.
Like a Miriam?
Huh?
Like Miriam?
Maybe.
I don't think it's that, but it's not Marie. Marie is or Maria, because those are common names, I feel like.
Whenever you're ready to lock in.
I'm gonna lock in Miriam. I don't think it's that, but
it's Miriam.
Is it?
It's Miriam. Let's go.
Wow, I'm sweating right now.
Let's go. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
That was fucking good.
I clutched up for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I will continue to call them by that.
There you go.
I know their first names, but they are Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Ed Smith came out of the back of your head. Just somebody threw.
Dude, I had the like auto calculator in the back of my head going through his Instagram handle. I go, what name sounds right with this?
And Miriam too, subconsciously in the back of your mind, it was like starting with an M.
I actually thought
when
you first asked the question, Miriam was the first name, like even before like thinking of your dad's. And I didn't want to say it. I was like, that doesn't sound right at all.
If it wasn't her name, it's a completely random ass name.
Yes,
because
exactly.
It's not like a common name anymore.
But I'm so glad I got it. All right, so I got one.
There you go, man.
Stress is away. I got one.
Dude, I barely helped you. I give you the hint of that it starts with M.
Thank God you did.
But that was pretty good. I wrote down most of these questions like pretty early on when I thought of like the podcast idea in general. I've been waiting to ask you this question for so long because I was like, he's not gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, one time when we were hanging out with Ricky, I had told Ricky that I was gonna ask you this question, and he said something like, we mentioned my mom or something, and like he he just said like Miriam, and then I like looked at him, I was like, don't say it, like I don't want Daniel to like gain this information now, like if he didn't already have it or whatever.
Thank God I got that.
But yeah, no, that was good.
All right.
Next question.
Okay.
I'm gonna take off the thing that I wear on my finger.
Okay.
Every single day for the last 2 years, because my question is, can you give me 3 distinct details,
features about your class ring,
about the ring that I wear on my finger every single day for the last like 2 years?
It's from the University of Florida. It's your graduation ring.
Okay.
Yeah, those are pretty easy.
I'll accept that as half to 1 point.
Okay.
I need 3.
I want to say it has something on the inside of it, like where your knuckle is. I don't remember what it says. Does it have your initials somewhere? I
You
want.
gotta lock in any questions that I will
That's insane.
accept or deny for you.
Okay, I want to lock in. It has your initials on it. Does it not?
It has my initials on the inside.
Okay, that's what was on the inside.
It's like on the inside part of it. Like you can't see it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying. Okay. So is that 2? Am I getting 1 point for the first 2 things I said or no?
I'll give you 2.5. So.
Oh no, I'll take 2.
I'm
It's
sorry.
fine.
What? No, I'm sorry. I'll give you 1.5.
Oh, okay. So I got a half. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, it has your graduating year on it. I want to say it has. No, I think I'm wrong. Never mind.
What were you gonna say?
Like I think it has something family related on it. But I'm not sure. Like I don't think you'd put like a 3 or something on it because I know that's your. You have the tattoo. But I don't think that's on there. I think I'm gonna bail on this question because I really can't think of anything else.
What about color?
It's gold.
Okay, I'll keep that. I'll take
Oh,
that as an
what?
answer. It's gold.
Okay.
It could be silver. You know.
Oh, it's fair. It's gold.
Okay.
I see it. Like
There you
it's
go.
not like I don't see it. It
Yeah.
is gold. And then it doesn't have like the Gator logo. No, it's just. Or am I thinking of the wrong thing? A distinct feature about it. The face of it is black, like the face of the ring. I don't know if that's what you consider it, but like the big part of the ring is black and it has like gold engraving. I'm pretty sure.
You want to lock that in?
Sure. Yeah.
No,
No.
that's wrong.
Shit.
It's blue. The big part of it in the middle is blue.
It's like dark blue.
Yeah.
It's like gator blue.
It's a gator blue. Yeah.
No way.
I'm hiding it right here.
What? No, I know. I see you looking at it. You're analyzing it. I need to be analyzing it. I want to say it
You've
has.
done pretty well so far.
I think it has
I
a
will say
number
that.
on it. This is why I was saying the family thing. I think there's a number on there that's significant that doesn't have to do with the day that you or the year that you graduated. But I don't know what it is or the context of it. So I think I'm gonna lock that in.
Okay. Half right, half wrong, but
Okay.
I'll give you the half point, and that makes you reach 3.
Okay.
It does have a number on it. It's 2021, but that's the year I graduated, so it is
Oh, it
like
was-
the year I graduated.
Okay.
The reason you're probably thinking that though, which is a fair answer, is because my dad has this ring as well, and so does my great uncle.
Okay.
So it is like
Yes.
kind of a family thing.
I
that-
remember there being a family,
Yeah.
like a sentiment behind the
Exactly.
ring.
Yeah. So like my
Okay.
in my family, it's like a thing to go to UF and you get the
And
ring
get
or
your
whatever.
ring.
If you went to UF or whatever. So like a few things. Look, the stone is blue
Uh-huh.
and it says UF there.
All right, just
Yeah, here.
give us a second, folks. I'm analyzing the ring while he turns the camera back on.
It says UF there.
What is BS? Is a bachelor's in science?
Yeah, which I can get updated for my master's degree, but I just haven't yet. But yeah, the BS is bachelor's in science.
What
But
is?
I think-
This cold is way better.
Oh yeah, it is. No, I mean I'm gonna be honest. I thought the first one that we had was gonna be worse than it was because it was kind of like lukewarm or whatever, but it wasn't bad at all. But this is good. Yeah, cold is good.
I'm glad you liked it. I feel like it's
Definitely
easier to
like it.
drink than a beer.
It feels like I'm drinking Coke, and I love Coke, so
That's the issue.
I've been doing good.
Beautiful.
You ready to go on to question number 3?
Man, these questions have been claymores, man. I'm
Yeah.
dancing around. These are landmines.
But I feel like you worked your way to the finish line for both of them. So
Let's see.
one thing that we have in common, we have a lot of things in common, and I'll bring it up later again, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
Of our interests, but one of our interests that we have in common is Lego. As you mentioned before, you have the Lego set in there. My question to you is, can you name 3 Lego sets that I own?
I think so. So it's funny. Every time I go shopping for Legos, I call Lucas.
Yeah, I was literally about to mention that. So like, when I get a random call from you, like in the middle of the day, I'm like pretty confident it's gonna be
Yeah.
like a Lego related question.
It's really sad because I could be spending my money on different things, but I just love Legos.
Dude, I say it all the time. Like if I had
It's-
infinite money, I'd buy like every Lego set.
I can't. I'm such a sore loser, dude. I can't stand being wrong. That's the issue. I can't be wrong.
Let's go.
Oh my
good
god! Why
question.
do they keep showing me keychains? I think this is the one I'm gonna bail on because there's so many possibilities.
But some sets that I thought you may have known of, the Sith Inquisitor thing that you just brought up, I do have that one.
Dude, I'm so mad.
I do have.
I'm
that
not
one.
gonna lie. I thought you did, and I looked at the price. I go, dude, I don't know if he's spending that much on a Lego.
I got it on offer up for like half the price.
That must have been it. Dude.
Yeah.
Because like
So-
I love Legos, but I looked at the price and I go,
Maybe not.
that one's a Christmas present, you know.
Yeah, whatever. I have a
That's
bunch
he
of
has
others,
a very impressive set.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I've been collecting since I was like a child, and continue to this day, as you said, looking up offer up deals like all
Do
the
you
time.
want to just finish the podcast out here, but bring a light?
Okay, so we're 3 questions.
So I
in.
got the Lego question wrong, which I'm really disappointed in.
I thought that was one you'd get easily, honestly.
I know. I think I just got a little overwhelmed because you have quite the collection.
There's a lot to go for.
Yeah.
All right, well, the next question, kind of a similar question. I'm gonna have you name 3 things. I'll
Sorry
wait for
about
this
that.
really cool guy to pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those really cool cards pretty soon. So. Name
3 of something else that we have in common. 3 hats that I own. We are both big hat guys.
Dude, I already saw that one. I'm not gonna say that.
So
Name 3. Yeah, we're both big hat guys. But very different taste in hats, I'll say. Because you're more of a flat hat guy, if to my understanding. Like you are not more.
I dabble.
But you dabble in it.
Yeah.
Whereas like I rarely ever. The only flat cap flat build hat I wear is my LSU one. And that's pretty much it. But damn, what hats do you? You have a Dolphins hat. I know that for a fact.
Can you give any?
Is it blue? It's like the teal blue. Really? No, it's not orange like this one. Is it white then? You have a white Dolphins cap?
It's a white like corduroy Dolphins hat that I got like recently.
It's a retro one.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
logo. Yeah.
It's not blue.
No, it's white.
I'm tripping. I know exactly.
I'll give you half a
It
point
has
for
like
that.
it has like stitching on the head of it.
Yeah, and then
I
like
know.
a like Pro Bowl
Yeah.
patch on the side.
Okay. Damn,
I'll give
dude.
you half a point for that one.
I should have known that. I literally had the hat in my head. I just had the wrong color. Freaking color blindness. No, I'm kidding. What other hats do you have? I don't think you have any baseball caps, like actual baseball caps. Because you don't really follow baseball at all. So I find it hard. Wow, someone is.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, dude.
You're
Someone.
interrupting 12 delves?
Someone is dabbling in the Mary Jane in a balcony below me, I guess. Wow, Jesus. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Oh man, you have so many hats. I gotta get some of these. Let me think. I also feel like every time, very often, do I see you in the same hat, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Like you do a good job of mixing them up.
Do you remember? Like, I'll give you half a point for this.
Sure.
Do you know what's on this hat right now? Like the hat that I'm wearing right
it
now.
has like a number 6, and it's like a word that's supposed to be spelled with number 6 in it. And I don't remember what the word is. No, something with an S. No. Oh
Somebody's on a roller coaster right by us.
yeah, shit. I hope. Kanga Coolers.
But it's Kangoo Coolers. Yeah, it's like a brand.
Oh, that's the brand. Yes,
told you
I know.
about
I
this,
know
yeah,
it. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
it's
it.
like a brand that for anyone that
I
doesn't know-
remembered the 6.
exactly. Yeah, it has like a 6 in the Kangoo already. That's pretty good. Only second time you've coughed this
Yeah.
entire time.
And I'm protected. I hope
Exactly.
you guys are safe.
Stay safe.
Dude, is that the Star of Jerusalem? That is so bright.
That is really bright.
For context, we have a view of the airport.
For context,
Yeah.
we're being invaded by aliens as we speak.
We have a view of the airport, and I guess that's a airplane
That's
that's
got to
coming
be an
in.
airplane. It's really
That
bright.
is just super bright.
It's really bright, but it's not really moving.
No, it's moving. It's moving.
Closer to
Yeah,
us?
closer to us.
Holy sh!
Too close. Sorry. The context to his hat is that it's a brand.
It's a brand that like has worked with Chubbies in the past, and like I like the brand a lot. It's like a few guys that created it. I graduated from Clemson or whatever that I thought was like cool. And I like this hat a lot. So I don't have any of their actual products. They sell like coolers, but I like this hat. So I rep their brand through this hat.
Shout out Kanga Coolers.
Shout out Kanga Coolers.
Yeah, I'm miserable. I'm pretty sure you have a Miami Heat hat. Just the question is, what does the hat look like?
I need descriptors.
Yeah. I don't think it's red or black, which makes me want to say it's white. But at the same time, knowing you, I'm pretty sure what you have is a Miami Vice Miami Heat hat. I feel like that's what you would go for. Do you have a Miami Vice Miami Heat hat?
I do have a Miami Vice Miami Heat hat.
So
it's black with the words.
It is black
with the words Miami on it in blue, like a neon blue. Shout out to Teresa. She actually got the hat for herself, and she didn't really like it, like the way it fit on her head, so she gave it to me for free.
Hey Terry, next time you get a hat and it doesn't fit correctly on your head, I also like hats.
So that was from her, and then I also have another Miami Vice hat that's like.
Oh, we only count one. I only guessed one.
Yeah.
So.
The other one I haven't worn in a while, so like you probably don't even remember it, but it's like kind of like a jean, like it's like denim hat kind of, and it has like white. It says Miami on it, like in white, but it's like a denim blue.
That kind of goes. I don't like. I can't think of that in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes crazy.
I don't wear it that much anymore because it's more of like a baseball hat, like type of like cap.
You have about 4 trillion Chubby's hats, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I could think off the top of my head like 4 different ones.
Oh, is it blue? You have a blue Chubby's hat? Like it's like a G, almost like a denim colored blue.
With that, what does it have on it?
Oh, you see, that's where you lose me.
I have like a dark blue one that literally says Chubby's in white that I used to wear like all the time.
I recognize, like I had that in my head.
And it's like a dad hat, like style or whatever.
So that puts me to 2. That's another half. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't think you have. Are you a visor guy? You have. I know that you have like the super basic like blue Gators hat.
With like you're saying blue dad hat, Gators hat with a Gator logo on it?
Pretty much.
No.
You don't have that Gators hat?
No. I know.
But you have a Gators hat that I've seen you wear.
I have Gators hats.
Plural.
But I'll tell you right now, none of them
are
just
white.
Like, are just a dad hat with a Gator logo on them.
Really?
I don't have one like that.
And they don't say UF or anything either? Like they're not like dad hats like that? Like they're like elaborate hats? I think it's the best way to describe it. An elaborate hat.
I have a dad hat that is Gator, but it doesn't have the like current logo on it. I have.
It has like a throwback logo.
It has a throwback logo, like the logo they use like right before the one they have now.
Did you used to wear that a lot?
Gator.
Yeah.
That's like it's like a beige color, and it has like the full Gator
I'm not
like
thinking the right thing then.
on there.
That sounds sick though.
Yeah.
It sounds like it goes crazy.
I
but
think Garrett got me that hat for graduation.
Shout out Garrett, dude.
Shout out Garrett.
Yeah, that's my guy. He hates me. No, I'm kidding. Love Garrett. No, but I feel like I sounded so much like Ricky when I just said that.
Love that guy.
Love that guy.
God.
Super handsome. Fuck, what's happening?
No. I'll give you a hint, and I'll give you half points if you get it. I have a visor.
You do have a visor
that I wear. Yeah.
Really? Oh wow. I feel like you wouldn't have like a normal visor though, like a super basic one is what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't have like a Calcutta or like a freaking golf branded visor. You don't have anything like that. You'd have to have like a cool visor.
Definitely not golf.
Yeah. It's not like a fishing visor. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's not a fishing branded visor.
I'll give you that. No, not fishing, not golf.
Is it a sports team?
Yeah.
It is?
Mm.
No way. A visor? It's not you have a Gator visor? I gotta expand on that. Let me think. I gotta envision it. Do I imagine Lucas in a Gator visor?
You've definitely seen me wear this visor,
Facts?
whether it be like in person or like through my TikToks that I've made or like videos.
I see your TikToks like
yeah,
through
like
Instagram maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Like on Instagram, I've worn this on.
Is
Instagram.
it a white visor?
It's a white Gator visor. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you half a point for that.
Cool. So I need another half point.
Yeah. Half point.
Really? I was surprised. But
you
did. Oh, now your hair's still long again. I was gonna say I feel like I could see you in a visor with your old hair or your new hair. Like, You rock that, dude. I lost. Dude, I hate being so close and giving up, but I also don't want to
right.
spend all the time
Yeah,
with
no.
me just like guessing. So I think
I mean, I'll cut this up if we're like talking about the same thing for too long.
Oh,
But
okay,
either
okay.
way,
for the people.
yeah, for the people.
No, I think I'm gonna give up
Yeah, it's fine.
right here.
The one that I was thinking of was like that's kind of a trucker hat is a New Balance hat. It's like dark blue and it has like the ND
Dang
like in
it!
reddish.
I see it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
and I
see
have
it.
a ton of polo hats just from back in the day, like high school days when just,
Oh,
like, those polo
dude.
like
Yeah.
I have like a bunch of different colors of that.
The Ralph Lauren
Yeah.
colorful hats.
Exactly, yeah.
We talked about the pants earlier. I should have
Yeah.
I should have thought of the hats too.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Well, speed round. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
3 minutes
Okay.
to guess 3 hats that
Okay.
I have.
You have okay. I'm not gonna count your Dolphins hat. I'm not gonna lie. This is maybe the first time I've ever seen that hat, so I won't count it.
Perfect.
I wouldn't have
It's
guessed
a new
that
hat.
I know you have the Ron DeSantis hat because I remember you wearing that at the ranch.
I have 2 of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I know the
yeah.
blue one at least, the one that you wore at the
I
ranch.
have 2 blues actually. Funny enough,
Okay.
I have a dark blue and a light blue one.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know the dark blue one, right? That's the one you wore to the ranch.
Yeah, Make America Florida.
There
Yeah,
you
I have
go.
that one.
And then I remember you have like a throwback like one, right?
Yeah,
With like a patch on the side as well. It's like white,
yeah.
right?
I have a lot of. I surprisingly have a lot of throwback hats.
ones, yeah.
Not even just
You
UM.
just throwback in general.
I have a bunch. Yeah.
And then you have an F1 hat with your favorite, like, I don't want to fucking butcher this. Is your favorite team like Ferrari?
It's not, but I do have a Ferrari hat.
Okay.
No,
there
I
you
do
go.
have it.
Is that the one you wore to Ricky's like graduation or like party or something? Like that you came from like the F1 event in Miami. You and got a from that, and you were wearing a hat that was like an F1 hat.
On what day was it? So funny enough, I actually had 3 different like
F1 hats. Yeah. Okay.
I have Aston Martin. It wasn't that because that was the first.
It was
day.
maybe you were wearing like a greenish color, I think.
Oh, then maybe it was Aston Martin. Because if it was green, it was that.
Maybe I think that's
Because I have Ferrari, Aston Martin, and McLaren. McLaren's my favorite Formula One team. I'm not a fake McLaren fan. I'm like since we were bad,
McLaren fans, back off.
Shout out to Papaya Army. Rough day today. We'll come back tomorrow. But no, but I have that. Yeah. I for sure I have a Ferrari hat. It's black. And it literally it's basic ass. Sorry not to curse. I've been good up to this point, I think.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty good.
Except for off the camera. So I don't know if that's still included, but I have a black Ferrari hat that has like the yellow Ferrari like logo.
You have a Ferrari shirt too that you wore.
No, I don't have any Ferrari merch. I have
Lamborghini or something like that.
Porsche,
the
black one
that has like a scratch or something.
Yeah, that's why I have a Porsche, but they don't have a F1 team. But yeah, Porsche. Right. I wore that last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Thursday
the night I was here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's another racing, but they have like their own league. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's 3 of them already.
Yeah.
You crushed it with the hats. I have a Yankees hat that I wear all the time now.
Yeah, you do.
That's like super basic. Everyone loves the Yankees.
Do you have any corduroy hats?
No, I don't. I did. I don't have any here.
Do you have any other Dolphins have these headsets?
No, I don't think I do. I have Super Bowl 39 hat.
With who?
I have a FedEx Orange Bowl hat from 1997. So the story is that my grandfather used to work for the Miami Herald. So he would go to a lot of these events.
Shout out your grandfather.
Shout out Owl. Shout out Fructuoso Verdeja. Killing the game still.
Is that his same grandfather that we go to his house?
Yes. Yeah. So he's a big hat guy. My grandfather loves baseball, so he's a big cap guy, baseball cap guy. So he has like bins on bins in his closet of just these hats that still have tags on them, because he would get them from these events. So that's why a lot of my throwback hats that I have,
from that,
he literally will be like, "Oh, pick one out. Yeah, pick how I'll grab 3."
That makes sense. Yeah. But that was pretty good. You almost got there.
I almost got there. So I'm 2 for 4.
With all the questions, we've worked our way through them. But
yeah, sorry, and we're taking long with the questions. So I'm gonna try to if I don't know the next one, I'm gonna just give up, swallow my pride. We're gonna tank for Wemby.
All right, there you go. Tank for Wemby.
Yeah.
All right, shout out the Spurs. Last question, Carla related.
Okay,
Are you ready?
sure.
You know for a fact Carla's gonna get mad at you if you don't get this question right.
Probably. Is
Are
it
you
her
ready?
birthday?
It's not her birthday. But it
Okay.
is another question that she often asks her close friends. Do you know Carla's middle name?
Danielle? Daniela?
There
Or
you go.
Danielle?
It's
Yeah,
Danielle.
it's just like my name.
It's Danielle.
Me
Way
and
to
Carla
go.
really be the same.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You promised a quick answer and you gave it. You
Perfect.
delivered.
Got it.
Beautiful. Danielle, it's over. There you
Yeah.
go.
Now I
you-
never have to see Carla again.
There you go. There it is. So how do you feel? The questions are over.
Oh man, a weight lifted off my shoulders. Honestly, I was pretty nervous about it actually.
Was this the part you were most nervous about? Or we're yet to
No,
come?
no, I would really say that. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, because I just don't like being wrong.
Yeah.
But it was bound to happen.
Uh-huh.
And I think I it's not like I completely flat out got everyone wrong. The
Yeah,
hats was rough because I don't really know like the exact description, but like I had an idea of what hats you had in my head.
The Legos too was kind of similar. Like
Yeah.
You had an idea,
You're just a master builder, so it's,
Thank you.
It's difficult. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Next segment, everyone's favorite segment. It is the groomsmen draft. Before we do that,
Yes.
we're gonna go inside, figure out. We'll take a little break right here. Go to the bathroom, figure out what
Let's
it
do
is,
it.
or whatever. Restart
Yeah.
the camera, and we'll bring out the things out here. So we'll be right back.
Bet.
I did it again. We interrupt this beautiful program to unfortunately tell you the part of the pod that I hype up in this video with Daniel and every podcast episode was not filmed on the camera. I did not film the draft on the camera. We literally, you'll see it obviously when you see it, but we get to filming it once we already like picked our teams and explained why each team should win and everything. Like I literally missed like the entire draft. I have a creative solution that hopefully makes it at least a little bit more entertaining than you just listening to us, but we do have the audio. That's good. As always, the audio is there. So hopefully you guys could still enjoy it. I apologize to Daniel. It's not the way I wanted the draft to go, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys still enjoy. See you soon. What are the chances, before we get into this next segment, what are the chances, if you had to give like a percentage on it, that your parents will watch this episode?
Not very likely, to be honest. I mean, if I told them to watch it, I think they would start. But if I told them to watch a specific part, I think they would actually watch it.
All right. Well, I just want to give a shout out because I know their names, Neo and Yvette.
You do.
Shout out to Neo and Yvette.
Shout out, Nildo.
If you shout out Nildo, he was just here like right before we started filming. But if they only watch one part, I hope they at least watch this part where I
Okay.
Thank you for taking us to Bimini. Thank you for raising this beautiful man right here.
Cheers.
That's all I have to say about that. All right, let's get into it. Second official segment of the pod. Probably everyone's favorite part. I say it every time. There's some people that I know for a fact just skip to this part, watch it, and jump off. So this is the part that you'll have the most eyes on you.
Okay.
But it is the groomsmen draft. So here we have 12 of my groomsmen, including me as well.
You. So
Here you
13
go,
guys.
13 guys. You want to hold your own card. Here's mine. We have our names, age, occupation, favorite,
Gappy.
movie, artist, sport. To give some context for the people that my groomsmen may not know as good as others. In here, we have different categories. There's been a different category each episode. And here are all brand new categories as well. You will not get a repeat category. And then we will go back and forth and draft our own teams. At the end, we'll look back at our teams and we will communicate on whose team we thought was better.
Yeah.
So first things first,
All right, let's
I
do
need
it.
you to pick a category.
Oh man, I wish
So here
I
we
would
go.
have died to get the basketball one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I would draft an elite team, but I can't do that again. So let's see. Wait. I think this is the one. Bank heist team.
Bank heist team.
I
Okay, that's
love
a good
that.
one,
I
bro.
love that.
Let's go.
Here.
That's a good
Let me
one.
see. I don't know if the camera will focus, but
Wait, maybe not.
bank heist team.
Bank heist team.
Here we go.
Okay, so now, first things first. Our first order of business is to see who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors,
All right.
shoot. 1 out of 1. Ready?
Rock,
Okay,
paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, scissors.
Let's go.
It's best out of one?
That's 1 out of 1.
That's psychotic. Who does that?
Let's go. We're trying to save some
All
time here.
right, fine. Let's do it. Yeah, we've been at this a
man.
while. Let's get through this.
Okay, you know what? Speed round. I'm going fucking Gabby Sancho.
Really?
This guy will figure out how the fuck to do it quick. He's sketchy as hell. He's probably done illegal things in his life. I'm
kidding.
I'm kidding. No, but for real, this guy's like extremely. We've mentioned it in like literally every fucking draft, but he's extremely resourceful.
All right.
100% good.
So I
I'm
think
going Gabby.
that I'm gonna go Josh
Damn.
because he does cybersecurity,
Okay.
and we didn't say exactly what kind of bank heist. Like we're not talking money bags.
Okay.
We could just be straight up robbing the bank.
That's a great take.
So I think Josh heads my team as the idea guy.
Let's go, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. I don't think we've met, but we will soon enough.
Let's go.
So shout out to Josh for robbing the bank for me.
All right, there you go. That's a crazy take.
Yeah.
Okay, next. I'm trying to look for someone who's
Gotta
ready.
use the context clues, bro.
I'm just going for someone who's ready for some action. So maybe we'll go with bank heist. Ready for some action. I'm gonna go with Michael. Fuck it. We'll go with Michael.
Michael. Okay.
Michael's ready, like a little bit slippery, ready to get in there, take the money and get out.
See, I'm on the similar trends, but I'm going Matthew.
Okay.
Matthew seems like the action guy.
Mhm.
He's ready. Know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like Matthew will jump into action before we are ready to jump into action.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the thing is, Matthew. The reason why I picked Michael over Matthew was that
it's an age thing, more experience robbing banks.
maybe that, but also I feel like Matthew will try to tackle it in like a strategic way. Michael will be like fucking ready for the action, you know?
I get
We're
that.
already like get in there.
Oh,
Get
but
the
we
money, get out.
we already have a cybersecurity guy, so we're going for straps.
Exactly. If you're going for a more different
Okay.
way, we're going for a full brute force. It's like in GTA 5 when you can choose like break
Yeah.
through the front door
Or stealth.
or stealth. You guys are going for the stealth action. We're going for straight through the front door.
All right.
Hold hostages. Take our.
Oh, well,
take
then
our
you have
money
to
and
know.
leave.
You know who you have to get next.
Not every job.
Are we picking? What are the teams? 6?
Yeah, 6, and I forgot to mention, as I do every fucking draft, one person will not be picked for
I hope
this
it's
bank
me.
heist. You hope
As
it's-
long as you don't draft me, I'm not gonna draft me. I don't want to be involved in this.
All right, I
activity.
might get you later.
Damn it.
I'm gonna go. All right, I got a lot of like run and gun with Gabby and Michael. I need somebody to maybe like stabilize our team a little bit so that we could actually get away with it rather than like the cops getting us right away. I need to go with Kevin. I feel like he adds some like logical like
Okay.
sense in it, as well as like he's not like afraid to rob the bank. Like we can still count on him to be in on the job while still
That's-
also.
You know what? My guy to do that, very, very similar mindset. My guy to do that is John.
Okay. I'll tell you right now, the only reason I didn't pick John is because he could be a little bit jittery, you know?
That's-
Like back out of it last minute and then we're fucked without him.
Yeah, but I can imagine John telling me to shut the hell up. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
He
can
seems
see
like
that
he
too.
has that
Yeah.
get things done
Uh-huh.
mindset.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Bank heist. Let me think. We got our run and gun. We got our innovative like ideas to get in there. We got our strategy, like keep us focused.
I love that. We got our running gun.
Yeah. Trying to think of a well-rounded team here.
Like Marcus?
I don't know, man. I don't want to shit on Marcus too much.
Dude,
but like,
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to help you out. I'm
Yeah.
actually going to help you out.
yeah,
Marcus helps because he's small, so he can fit in small spaces.
he's not like that much smaller than anyone else here. Like,
I think he's
maybe
that
like
much
2 years
than,
ago.
than your squad. Well, I don't know, actually.
Dude, like Gabby and Marcus are like pretty similar heights.
I didn't say it. That was him.
it.
I didn't say it.
We already got that in here.
All right, that's fair.
Or like actual bank heist. Like if we're thinking GTA, like movie style bank heist, like I feel like I'm good. But if we're talking about like real, like actually breaking into a bank and like, I feel like I'd shit my pants. Like if we're actually in this scenario, I'm gonna go with Ricky. I don't know if he was on your radar at all to pick, but I feel like he's kind of a balance
Rick?
between like all of the things I'm kind of thinking of.
I gotta say, after growing up with Rick, doesn't strike me as the guy ready to rob the bank. I don't think so.
I feel like as long as you got him committed on like a certain path, then like,
guess.
okay, this is what we're doing.
I'm
and he's in.
I'm glad my reverse psychology worked on you.
Okay.
Cause
Are you taking yourself?
Because I want Marcus.
There you go.
Marcus, welcome to the dream team, kid. So my reasoning,
Yeah, please.
is that
Tell me.
so John in this scenario,
Okay.
John not only is not to say John's old, but he is the oldest.
No, we got actually Josh is older.
Or I'm sorry, Josh, 2 J's, very confusing.
Yeah.
Josh
Four-letter
is the
Josh.
oldest, and Josh is the brains of this. He's the cybersecurity guy. So I need someone on the floor actually putting in the cyber work. And the other day I had Marcus fixing Michael's computer on
There
the
you go.
Xbox.
There you go.
So I think based off that, Marcus is my guy on the grounds who infiltrates and hacks in.
I'm not gonna lie, you might be thinking this more strategically than I am, and that might be my downfall. But
We'll
I really
see.
like your
We'll see.
cybersecurity mixed with Marcus's like knowledge on like computers.
Matthew's the muscle.
Matthew's a muscle
Matthew
guy.
roughs up the guards.
Strategy.
Marcus sneaks in behind him and hacks the
That's
mainframe.
fair. There you go.
John in the back is tapping his fingers like this.
There we go. Evilly.
Exactly. It's we got it.
Okay. But look at my team. Been focused too much on your team. We got Michael, Gabby, Kevin, and Ricky. We need some brains in the operation. I'm gonna go with the brainiac of the group, the dentist himself, Rod Kansari.
Dude, that's a great pick.
I think we need some.
I have to say, I think we snubbed him. I think he got drafted too low.
Yeah, I think maybe, but I think we need some knowledge of like, wait, guys, let's slow down. Let's think of it this way. Break in.
That's what he provides.
That's what he provides.
That's really what he provides.
So I'm gonna get him on my team.
He's a great captain.
Second to last
I would
on my
argue
team.
he's a great captain. He's
He
a
could.
slow and steady guy.
He could be.
takes his time with his
Yeah.
decisions. I see that. Let me see.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He bumps some crazy tunes to Elton John.
Yeah. I know you're a big fan.
I'm a
of
big
Elton
fan
John,
of
yeah.
that. Big fan, Ron. And he likes basketball. He's a strategy guy.
I might have
School of
stolen
Rock
someone
as his
for you.
favorite movie is absolutely absurd.
Yeah,
it's great, but
it's
Jack Black
interesting.
can only carry a movie so
Yeah.
hard.
It's an interesting
But-
choice.
But I'm actually. Oh man. Okay, wait. I have an idea here.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna pick myself.
Yeah.
And I think my reasoning
Explain.
behind that is that because I'm the insurance guy of all these people, I'm gonna do the risk analysis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what ways we are taking on risk and how we can evade the risk. Right?
Makes
This
sense.
isn't a perfect world. Now again, they don't really teach you about bank robbing,
Yeah. That's not in the curriculum.
but the internet,
Yeah.
you can find it. I think you can find it. So
Okay.
that's my pick.
All right. Okay. Okay. So we got Chris, we got Garrett, and we have myself. Bank robbery. This will be my last pick, and then you will have to decide between the last final two. I'm trying to see.
I have someone that I want in mind already. I had someone that I wanted to take with that pick, but I thought that I wasn't sure if I would fall to myself.
Yeah, and you have some ability that is unique to yourself.
Exactly.
That makes it important to choose yourself, which I understand.
So that's why. But there's someone, if you let him fall to me, it's a wrap.
Okay. I honestly don't think who I'm thinking is the person that you'll pick,
Okay.
but I have an advantage that I know everyone very well. Obviously, they're all my groomsmen. And I think for a bank heist team, you'll need a bit of camaraderie. You'll need
I agree.
someone to bring you all together.
And that's you.
For that reason,
I know that's you.
I'm going to pick myself.
Yeah.
As
I
the
thought
final
of that in the
choosing
beginning.
team. That's someone that I know. Obviously, I'm the person that knows everyone the most, and at some level, you need some sort of like team bonding leader, and I think I can do that.
So it's crazy.
I'll go for myself.
So I think I'm gonna shout out my guys real quick. Josh, Matthew, right? John, Marcus, and myself. Marcus, I'm sorry, this doesn't really apply to you because you're underage. But my next pick goes to Chris, because once we complete this bank heist, we're going to get drinks.
Let's
He's
go.
the bar manager.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's planning for you. I'm
Dude.
so sorry, Garrett. You're too much of a goody two shoes. You can never rob a bank.
Let's go.
You're just too kind of a soul, bro. You could not rob the bank.
That's way too nice for Garrett. For Garrett's
Yeah,
purposes.
way too nice for him.
No, this guy, I didn't pick him because I feel like he had no specific.
You want to do
Like-
a pop-up of the teams, like right here?
No, we'll do one. We'll go through them each one by one because
Oh, okay.
if I do them all by once, that's gonna take way too much editing. If I put our entire team together.
I had something in mind. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah.
Garrett, I didn't pick him because I felt like maybe he was like good at multiple things, but I feel like there was no distinct quality that I needed to put him in my team for. So in each scenario, I always give the person that wasn't picked a role in the scenario. This is the banker that's getting robbed, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what scenario he would, what
Are
role
you
he
kidding?
would play.
If I tried to rob this guy, I couldn't do that. Look how nice this guy is.
Fucking, actually, never mind.
Actually, I should go to another bank.
He's either the banker or like the cop that comes in and
I think
tries
you're the
to-
security guard
There you go.
that is asleep
That gets-
during.
that gets killed instantly by Gabby.
No, man. He's the security guard that's asleep. He fell asleep watching the Dead Poet Society.
There you go.
And he's asleep in his little, oh my god, I almost dropped this, in his little security guard station in the bank.
Because it's such a boring movie.
While Marcus is sneaking around, hacking the mainframe, Garrett's asleep. All right.
All right, now let's go over our actual teams.
Okay.
You go first.
I'm gonna look at your team real quick. So can you give me like a scenario though, like
Yeah,
build
yeah.
build
I'll build my team. I'll
You know,
bring up my team
because
first.
I think I've gone over my strategy.
Yeah,
know?
I'm not gonna lie. You built it out pretty quickly. So I'm gonna go with me first, just like to explain. I'm the guy that brings all of us together. I'm the one that like, oh, Kevin may not know Ricky very well or may not know Rod very well, but like I know them all very well, so I bring them together, and that's why we got the camaraderie that we have. Our like fearless, go in there first, break in, like whatever, it doesn't matter. That's Gabby and Michael. They're both our first leads into the place. They don't care. They'll go in, the muscle. They'll go in and like fearless, rob whatever they got to do, talk to whoever they got to do, hold whoever hostage that they have to hold. After that, we have maybe Ricky as like a second tier, like kind of the same vibe, but also maybe a little bit more like social in the way that like talking
Ricky
to the
goes in to talk to
hostage.
the banker. It's a girl.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's over for them.
we might be robbing the bank,
What are you doing after this?
but what are we doing afterwards?
Exactly. So that's Ricky's role, and I think Kevin and Rod are both my kind of brains of like pull back on like, all right, guys, let's not fucking just like raid the bank and like whatever, take everything. Let's think of this strategically. We'll go in at this angle at this time. This is where the least people are there. Kind of story. They're the brains behind the operation. I'm the camaraderie behind the operation, and then our muscle brute force is Gabby and Michael with Ricky as a backup.
All right, ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh man, I have this. I think I have this good, man.
Yeah.
So Josh is our foundation for this heist. Josh, we're counting on you. Josh is the cybersecurity guy.
Yeah.
So he discovers the way in.
Okay.
Then John comes in. He's the accountant.
Keep
John
talking.
figures out. I'm gonna keep talking. John figures out what to do with the money. Well, what just happened?
That's fine.
Okay. So John is the distribution guy. So once we are able to get the money, he figures out where to displace it so that we can get away with everything, of course.
Okay. So different bank accounts. One in the
Exactly.
Bahamas.
Exactly.
Jamaica,
Switzerland. Yeah, we got it.
Okay, that's John's role.
After they come up with a plan, I'm the guy they run it through, and I just assess the risk that goes with the plan, and I make sure that it's foolproof. Then we send in Marcus with Matthew as his armed gun to sneak in, maybe knock some heads if he needs to, Matthew. And Marcus does what he is instructed to do by Josh and hacks in and gets the money to John, who can then yes, he's wiring the money to John, who could properly distribute it. And then we go to Chris's bar afterwards, and we have shots, and we just go ballistic. And Tell me I'm wrong.
I gotta give it to you.
Let's go. Let's go. Shout out my team. I got you guys.
The story you put together was fucking beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
The way you put everyone in a certain role, that was great. Congratulations.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for helping me out. Shout out my team.
I think I love the way that Chris as an after party, like that was his role.
That's his role. He's a bar manager. That's his role. He gets us drunk.
That was just beautiful.
It's it's
the way we worked everyone in, the different cybersecurity.
Where's the cup that I was in?
Right here.
Yeah, everyone has a role.
The accountant, the insurance, risk assessment. That was beautiful. All right, so what did you think? Are you happy about that?
I think
that category.
I think I crushed that draft.
Yeah, I think.
I think it was a fun category too.
I agree. I admittedly I've created all the categories.
Yeah.
I think some are worse than others.
How'd you do that? You found like a website?
No, I thought of it.
Off the dome?
Yeah, I just came up with that.
That's crazy.
But admittedly, I think some are worse than others. I think Bank Heist is kind of like one of the top tier. Like that's a good one. There's a lot of different.
And we got the good one.
So we got a good one.
Let's
so
go.
I'm happy you were able to do that one as well. All right. I just restarted the camera. I don't know if it was recording or if it might have not been recording. At least we have the audio if we like worst case scenario, but regardless, we have something. Hopefully it was. Next segment. Who's this? Oh, Garrett. That wasn't big.
Sorry, Garrett.
Before we get into the next segment, I say we take a break, restart the camera, go to the bathroom if you need to. I'm going to get my second drink up here as well. So let's do that.
All right. I mentioned I wanted to talk to you about this when I got back to the table. I was discussing the fact that I don't really know any of Kanye's good rap. Not to say that he doesn't have good rap, because he has plenty. I just don't know it like that. And I was like, I wonder if you're an Eminem guy.
So funny enough, the way I got into hip hop,
we're back.
Rap, yeah, we're back.
We're so back. We're so back.
The way I got into it was through Eminem. Like in 8th grade, I remember discovering a bunch of like old Eminem songs.
Old Eminem in 8th grade. Not Afraid and
Not Afraid, but also like just like the classic like Slim Shady or Stan or stuff like that. Like I had never really heard it at that point in my life, and they had been out for years or whatever. But that's kind of like I remember with Michael and Matthew like getting into Eminem. Like that was my first kind of introduction into rap or hip hop in general. And then through that, like a few years later, like John introduced me to like Chance the Rapper, and I was like huge on Chance for a while. That led me into Kanye and Kendrick.
Chance led you into Kanye?
Yeah, because Chance started working with Kanye or whatever. Like
you mean Kanye started working with Chance the Rapper?
Yeah, whatever. Either way you want to go, but the fact is, like, I knew Kanye's songs, but I wasn't like really into him and like looking at all his albums and all this stuff.
Kanye's nuts.
Until after that, yeah.
Kanye's like Eminem. They did something different for the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, for a fact, Kanye is my goat, like artist of all time.
I know how you roll. Is that your last can? Did you make yourself another drink?
I have another one right down here that I'm waiting for, but
another can? Yeah. Oh, because there were 8.
There were 8. Yeah. Oh. This is my third. So
I think I'm good for a little bit, and then I'm gonna grab my last one. Okay. So I think we're good on drinks. All right, so we did our draft. We discussed how Eminem is absolutely filthy.
Yeah, no, Eminem was my gateway to hip hop, rap in general.
I'm trying to think now. What was my gateway? Because did your sisters? Did their like media consumption have an effect on what you listen to?
Because 100%.
Yeah, a lot
and that's why I was kind of introduced to hip hop rap like pretty late. By the time it was like I wasn't introduced to that until I started like looking into things myself.
Oh, you see, that's what I was curious
at all
about.
Show it to me.
I was on the other end of the spectrum. My sister, very early on, I was listening to burn CDs.
Yeah.
Like what was the hip hop of her time?
Yeah,
she
my
was like in middle
didn't listen to hip hop at all. Like what the music consumption or like media consumption I got from my sisters was like High School Musical and like musicals in general. Like I really like musicals, honestly.
I got that through TV though. Like,
But-
never through like in the car rides. What your sisters would play like that?
I mean, Stephanie, my older sister, who is still like
Yeah,
works in thespian, like the choir and all that or whatever. Like, I got like
I didn't know
In the
that.
Heights,
Nice.
like, I mean, the High School Musicals, obviously,
bangers.
Hamilton a little bit later on, like all that shit. Like, I've always been drawn to like musicals and stuff like that, and I feel like it's because of my sisters, more specifically because of Stephanie,
Okay.
my older sister.
Yeah.
But they definitely didn't introduce me to like hip hop at all.
Have you ever seen
It's like-
Across the Universe?
I
it's
don't
a-
think
it's a
so.
musical.
I've never heard of that.
It's fire. It's based off the Beatles, but it's not like a Beatles story per se, but the music is all Beatles.
It's like Mamma Mia that all the songs are
ABBA.
ABBA. Yeah.
Yes. Same
Okay.
thing.
Cool. I've never heard of that. No.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Big Beatles guy.
Big Beatles guy.
Big Elvis guy.
Love Elvis, the GOAT. Elvis is my GOAT. Before any rapper or anything, he created it all.
I had a question for you while I was on my way over here. I kind of thought of this.
Sure.
You mentioned to me the other day, like when Gato gets ready, she blasts Hispanic music.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you blasting? Like, I feel like I don't know really what music you like now. Like, I know that you like
Ooh.
Elvis. I know that you like older music. I know that you also like J. Cole and Logic and like, but like, what are you playing? If you just have aux, you're a home alone.
Oh, I'm
What are
at
you
home
playing on a speaker?
alone.
Yeah.
Oh, but it depends. Like if I'm getting ready,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's different because like if I'm getting ready to like go out somewhere, it can be J. Cole or that's usually more of a rap. Like if I'm washing the dishes and hanging out here by myself, that's when I'm playing my music, which is a lot of older music. Elvis, the Beatles, Fleetwood Mac, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. It's a lot of. There's not a lot of that's necessarily rock, but
Where did that come from? Is that your
So,
parents, your sister?
my dad
Yeah.
loves Elvis.
Uh-huh.
That's my dad's. We have, I don't know if you've ever seen in my house, my parents' house, in the bar, there's a picture frame of my dad dressed as Elvis, except fat as hell. And in comparison to Elvis, to be fair. And that's how I literally grew up. I would get picked up by my dad, and he only had like these Elvis CDs in his car.
Yeah.
So like that's
same with me, but with Michael Jackson, with my dad.
oh, you see, I
Yeah.
can't stand Michael Jackson.
I can love Michael Jackson, but yeah.
So it's
Go on, keep telling your
it's-
story though.
I only like Jackson 5, Michael. But regardless, and that's really where the older music came. The Elvis came from that. My mom was on the Beatles end of it, right? So she loved Beatles and disco and more of that. Well, not to say the Beatles is disco,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. Just because Elvis is a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And that was more my dad liked that, and then like went into AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, the rock-ish.
And your
stuff.
mom's more like Bee Gees.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and
so is mine.
I listened to a lot of music with them, and then growing up, actually, my sister not only introduced me to this pop, right, but it was funny because I remember there was a time when we were younger that like there was I guess it's cool music, right? Like cool music, like the music that like
It was on 96.5.
yeah, like
was
was
on
like
Power
which
96.
was hip. Like that was the music to listen to, and it was kind of that in between Sean Kingston and really when I mean around that time when Eminem became big for our generation, or
Like
Lil
2009-ish.
Wayne released like Carter
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
Right. So like in that or is it Carter?
2009.
Yeah. And there's
Black
that.
Eyed Peas were like
Yes,
massive
yes,
at that time.
and like that, like
Yeah.
and like not to say I dislike Black Eyed Peas, but like I would listen to like stuff like that, and I was like, it's good. I don't want to listen to this though when I'm like sitting at home.
Uh-huh.
You know, like some of that music's just to dance, or just to to have a great time. You're out and you listen to that. Like I there's some music I like when it's not like that, and my sister was a big part of that actually, where she was like, check out this music, and she introduced me to older, for me, like Fall Out Boy,
Yeah.
and then I mean,
Like Panic at the Disco.
Panic
like
at the
that.
Disco, Green Day was my
Yeah.
cousins that introduced me. She was kind of like the like, you can listen to whatever you'd like, you know.
Yeah.
And from there I was like, oh, like I'll find what I like, you
Yeah.
know, like oh my god, who plays like Maroon 5.
Mhm.
Um,
When was it for you that you feel like you started, instead of just listening to the radio, like seeking out this person's music? Or like,
really young though.
like
Like on YouTube, like I
Yeah,
listened
like-
to a lot of like
fourth grade?
no,
like
no,
seventh
like middle
grade?
school.
Yeah.
So like around like 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
I was listening. I was looking for my own kind of music.
Yeah.
Not to say I didn't listen to all like the trendy songs, because like,
Yeah.
everyone, you know, Not Afraid, these, you know, Eminem. So I love Eminem to this day. All of Eminem, even new Eminem, which everyone hates because it sucks. It does suck, but like, there's still some like value to what he says. I'm a big lyrics guy.
Lyrical, spiritual.
I like J. Cole
Yeah.
because I think he's a very lyrical guy. Like
Logic.
he takes pride in what he's saying, not necessarily how it sounds. Logic is the same way. Logic is one of my favorite authors, actually, which is super weird to say for most people, but his book Supermarket is one of my favorite books I've ever read. And if you're a reader, I recommend that you go read that book, because it's not your typical like rapper autobiography, or like it's a genuine fictional book that has some crazy twists and turns that I just reread it recently, and I was like, yeah, it's a good book.
You're a big reader. You read like you're reading a book right now.
Yeah, I am.
You've told me about like multiple times in Xbox, like different books you're reading and stuff like that.
Yes, I kind of had a revival in like the past year, the past like 2 years of reading. My grandfather finished his book. It's called Cubans, the Exile. I believe it's either Cubans Exiles or Cubans the Exile. It's something like that. And
Shout
if
out
you
Cuba,
shout out Cuba, and if you couldn't tell, it's
Cuban boys.
Cuban boys. It's a book. It's a book on not only the Cuban exile, but the effects of the Cuban exile on the United States, and more specifically on South Florida. Which it's like a 1,000-page book. I have not gotten halfway through it. I've been reading through it for 2 years, but also been reading other books in between. But that book is what got me into.
Reintroduce you.
There
into
is something
reading.
about having a pride in having pride in my family, that I was like, there's a piece of family history within this book
Yeah.
that I wanted to explore.
Yeah.
And then through that, I kind of like regained. I loved reading, like even through high school. I was in college is when I really stopped reading. And then I guess late in college is when I picked it back up through this book. And then since then, I've read a bunch of books, different books.
No, I think
There's man's reason for. I don't even remember the name of the book. Viktor E. Frankl is, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the author. It's a guy who went through the Holocaust, a Holocaust survivor. That book was like really, really intense.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that you're listening, because I do a lot of like Audible.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes it's kind of difficult to pick up a book and read.
Yeah.
But if I can listen to it while I work out or while I wash dishes, or like I have the Alexa inside here, and like I'll literally be like, Alexa, like read, and like they'll start, because it all connects. You know how that goes now. And I'll listen as I wash dishes or clean up the kitchen, and it's easier to read now than it ever has been, and it's become something that people are so not negligent,
Yeah.
but that people neglect.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
That's
I
the
mean,
proper way of saying
I
it.
am number one on the list. Like, I haven't read a
Yeah.
full book since like sophomore year of high school.
You know,
like,
it's
if I'm being honest.
my
Like-
cousin Amanda, who's our age, a fellow Gator like you, is getting married. I don't know. I don't remember the date, but she's one of the million weddings that we have coming up, and she's getting married to her fiance, Murph, the Murph man, Ryan.
Shout out,
Shout out the Murph man, another fellow Gator. And the Murph man literally told me, I went on vacation with them this summer, and he goes, I'm bringing reading back. I promise. He gave me a list. I still have it on my phone, and I'm going through it. The book I'm reading right now is something he recommended to me. He goes, here's a list of books I personally recommend, and if you don't want to pay for them, I'll buy it myself just so you read it.
Shout out, if you want to read a book on Murphy.
No, hold on.
I'll buy it for you.
He won't buy it for you, but you can come find me, and I can support the last 2 books. Well, the last book I read and the book I'm currently reading, because it's a super long book, but very interesting, called Snowfall. But those 2 books were recommended by him, and I can send you the list, because he has a good mix. Like, this is like a more entertaining fictional book, and the last book was this autobiography that this guy wrote about going through the Holocaust, and then before that is when I had reread Supermarket, which is a logic book, which is where we started this. So I'm going to wrap this up. Yes, read. If you don't read. It stimulates the brain. It's entertaining. It's just as entertaining. It really is more entertaining than picking up your phone and watching a 15-second video. Like, there's more long-term satisfaction out of a book.
Yeah.
And it builds discipline. It's a great life skill.
I agree. That's something I completely.
That I will pay for your Supermarket book so that you can read it. That's how much I love that book.
Yeah, you put me on the album, and the album's great. So
I love that album.
Can't imagine
So that's, I've essentially gone into that older music through my family, even my sister who's younger. She's 5 years older than us, 4.5, whatever. But even when I saw that she was not necessarily, like, afraid, I guess, to be like, oh, like, I love this older music, that's when I was like, oh, like, I know what I like. And, like, I don't necessarily have to, like, pretend to like this stuff that I really don't. Because there's a lot of rap and a lot of pop that I'm not necessarily a fan of. That could be popular, too. And it just so happens that I'm not into it. Like, it's nothing against people, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing against, like, this new way, because there's still, like, there's rap that I love. But then there's also there's some music that I listen to, and I'm like, there's no message, I guess, is my thought process. Like Drake's new song, the one that we made fun of the other day.
Yeah.
We're not going to say that because your parents watch this podcast.
No. Bend that ass over, let that coochie breathe. that's the main part.
That's the main. That's the
that's
hook.
The chorus. Yeah.
That's literally the chorus of this song, and I'm like, who entertains this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's a club song. They're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Dude, those are the people I'm gonna stay away from.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta say it. If I have like a group of people next to me, like, oh my god, this is my jam, I'm like,
I can't be friends with you.
I'm gonna take 10 steps to the left.
That's fair.
But yeah. All right. So tell me what's.
No, I mean that kind of a lot of what we talked about goes into like what our next segment would have been.
Beautiful.
Which is the shared media section. So this section, I typically talk about things that I have with my groomsmen that are in common, either whether it be songs, music, video games.
Hold on. I have a
movies,
bone. I have a bone to pick with you.
Like that. Yeah, go ahead.
So this guy was like 40 minutes away from not 40 minutes. Like it was 40 minutes before he showed up to my apartment. And he goes, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I need you to think of a shared media that we both have.
Yeah.
Not nearly enough time to think about that. But
to be fair, I was like, oh, this guy's seen a few of the pods. Like, he knows what it is.
But
so I was like, oh, he'll know.
I didn't know that was like a thing for every pod.
Yeah,
but now that you say it, it's true. But I thought a lot about it. Like, literally from the moment you called me to when you showed up, I had been thinking about it. Because it's really interesting. We share a lot of medias, but the interesting part to me is the fact that we don't share a lot of opinions in these shared medias that we have.
I was 100% going to bring that up. We have a lot of shared media, but we don't agree on
a lot of stuff.
It, the parts of it that we like, which is really funny. But it creates a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion.
Exactly, and we agree.
Like
there's not something that we both say like, oh, it's bad. Mm-hmm. Like, we're never like that. But it's just certain parts that we like more than the others that we'll completely be on opposite sides of the spectrum.
We like the same things, but we don't like the same things about it.
Yeah, that's true. So, where do you want to begin with that? How do you unpack that? Because that's a lot.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention some like honorable mentions that I wanted to say, 100% were like Logic and J. Cole. We kind of touched that. You put me on Logic for sure. I didn't really listen to him before you told me about him. And J. Cole, I had listened to a few songs, but like you liking him so much kind of put me on into like looking back at like.
Shout out my guys, Logic and J. Cole.
Exactly. Like it kind of put me on like looking
Shout
back.
out Bobby and Jermaine. Those are my guys.
It kind of put me on like looking back on their catalog and like discovering more of like the things that I like about them. So that was something I wanted to mention, but we kind of went over it a bit.
What's the Logic song?
I don't know. If I'm honestly like off the top of my head, the top Logic song that I could think of is like Homicide, which is like the one with
Eminem.
With Eminem.
Yeah.
That's like really good, and it also had like in the music video the Chris D'Elia skit at the end that was like hilarious. And like I've liked Chris D'Elia for a while. Stephanie, my older sister, was like a huge fan of him when he was on Vine.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so like
that's
I've known
funny.
him for a while, and like the fact that he was like got to the point where he's working with somebody like Eminem was like really awesome.
Yeah.
Like seeing him in the music video or whatever. That's probably my top song, but like there's no chance that's like a top Logic song. It's just kind of
I have to say I'm on a very different end of the spectrum in terms of Logic songs. Which is something I can talk about, I guess, more comfortably now. So my favorite Logic song is called Nikki, like Nikki. To the point, like, weirdly enough, so my first car was named Nikki. The same spelling, and it was
because of the song.
It was based off a show called Heroes, and Nikki was this girl on the show, who her superpower. It was like a bunch of mutants.
Yeah.
And like, but like it was kind of like, you know, The Boys on Hulu. So
I've never seen it, but
it was like The Boys before The Boys existed. So it was like a show about people with superhero powers, but like we're normal people. And Nikki's superpower was that she was bipolar. She was a normal person, like Kanye. Yeah, she was a normal person normally, but then when she got mad, her other personality, Nikki, took over, and Nikki had superhuman strength. So I thought it was like this badass, like. So I named my first car that, and then by coincidence, I heard this song called Nikki. I think it's Nicki. I don't know if it's the exact same spelling, but by Logic, and it was about he raps his entire song about this girl named Nikki, and that how he can't shake her. But the song isn't about a girl; it's about his addiction, his fight with quitting nicotine. So me as someone who used to smoke but doesn't smoke anymore, I love that. Let's fucking go, yeah. And I love that song.
Yeah,
that was cool. It was something that hit like personally, like I can relate to, you know, and like you hear him listening to it, and it's funny, like the first time I listened to it, I knew what he was talking about right away, because there's like subtle cues. He's like, oh, I can feel you in my veins, like bloodstream, the only way you make it to my brain, like he's literally like. He's talking about this girl, but you know at the end of the song, he ends up saying, like, I'm a slave for the nicotine. Like, he's literally saying, like, Nikki is a cigarette.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, cigarettes for him. Luckily, I got past cigarettes very quickly, and I was a vaping guy. But I was able to quit that habit, or that addiction. Not even a habit. It's an addiction, but I was able to quit it, and that's just one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
It's not just relatable, but it's relatable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That, like, I have a lot of friends. I won't name people in case they don't.
Shout out.
Yeah, in case they don't feel comfortable. But, like, when I have friends that are trying to quit vaping or smoking, whatever, I literally will tell them, like, oh, like, you should listen to this song. Like, it literally just shows, cool. Like, there are people that are, not to say people are higher above us, but there are people who are more, like, critically known than we are. And they go through the same exact, like, they go through as human problems, as much human problems as we do.
No matter what it is, whether it be like a nicotine addiction or like any other drug addiction or the simplest thing is of like whatever it is, like problems in relationships or whatever. Like it's awesome to hear people speak about that, especially at the level of somebody.
I mean, yeah,
like
especially
Logic,
these people that you
Kanye, whatever it is.
I mean, I wouldn't even say like I don't necessarily look up to Logic.
Yeah,
but like I admire him.
Yeah, and
like I love his work,
and he speaks to the masses. And when you know that people listen to him at a certain volume, like you know that okay, I'm not alone. Like there's a million people that relate to this as well, and because of that, it's like a shared experience that it's easier for you to feel a part of that community, rather than you just be alone, stuck in this like feeling that you have, and like you feel like no one understands you. No, like not only does his artist understand you, all of his fans understand you as well. You know,
Yeah.
like, stuff like that.
Wow. I don't know if they hear that. That's a motorcycle.
Dude, that's like past
That's-
Versailles. That's like all the way over there.
That's loud, man. Look, there's a
Yeah.
dog complaining about it barking.
Yeah. But yeah, I think J. Cole and Logic are someone that I definitely wanted to mention because you put me on both of them. Because like, although
My guy.
I knew
Let's
about
go, dude.
I knew a little bit more about J. Cole than Logic. Logic for sure, you 100% put me on. Like I didn't really like know him at all. J. Cole, I knew him, but not at the level that I was like, oh, okay, my good friend like really fucking likes him. Let me listen to some of his stuff, and I kind of got into him way more because of that. So thank you for that.
Cheers.
And then the two things that I think bond us the most, forget Logic and J. Cole and rap in general, Legos, Mario Kart, all of this like stuff that we grew up with at the same time.
Yeah.
Hats. The thing that I think bond us the most are two things, and I think you know what it is. It's
Yeah.
Star Wars and it's Marvel. MCU.
Oh, I don't think that's right.
You don't think that's right?
I don't think it's right.
That's crazy.
I think Star Wars is right. But
The
I
thing
have
is-
something above Marvel. You know what it is.
The DC universe, or no?
There's no universe. There's one guy.
Yeah. Okay. Batman.
Da-da-da. Let's go. That guy. I think we share.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people love those movies, but I think that's one of the first things that we're like, dude, I love Batman.
The thing is, okay, so the thing that I have as my official, like, media that I chose for the section is
Okay.
the MCU.
All right, sure, I can do
And
that
the-
too, though, because we're super in link with that as well.
That is the reason, because we both love Batman, but we don't necessarily love all the same Batman. We both love Star Wars.
I
but
thought
we,
about that when you
but
told
we-
me to think of my media.
but we
I thought
don't
about it.
necessarily love all the same Star Wars.
Same thing with Marvel,
And Marvel is a little bit different.
but we're
of, like,
more similar. Yeah.
But it's more similar, and as well as what I said before of like how I was gonna mention it later, I come over and we watch what we've watched mostly of like is we've watched Marvel. We saw Secret Invasion, which was the worst Marvel show in the worst Marvel project ever. We watched all 6 episodes or whatever that is.
By
watched-
the end of the 3rd episode,
We were like,
we
it's
were-
a chore.
every
So-
time he would come for lunch, we'd be like, all right,
Fuck, we gotta watch
let's
Secret
get this
Invasion.
over with. And we would laugh through the entire, but not even laughing in like a good way.
Yeah, it's laughing
we would-
in a way of like, how the fuck did the MCU get to this level of this fucking shit that we're watching right now?
It was so bad. It was so bad.
So it's that Secret Invasion, but as well as
Okay, bad.
after that we watched Deadpool. We're in the
I love
process
Deadpool.
of watching the original Spider-Man trilogy.
That's
So it's
facts.
just like for me, it's like
Yeah.
like Star Wars. To me, I like Star Wars more than Marvel. I don't know how you feel about that.
I would say so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay. So we both like Star Wars more than Marvel, but the parts of Star Wars we like.
But you see, that's where we
different.
differ, though.
Exactly.
Because Star Wars is your number one, also.
Exactly.
But Star Wars isn't my number one.
Batman's your number one.
Batman's my number one.
Okay, that's fair. And I like Batman 2 a lot.
But then it
goes.
goes Star Wars, Marvel.
But I felt like I chose Marvel as like the official like thing I wanted to bring up because we have a lot of links with
We can
it.
do that, yeah.
And as well, it's something that like I feel like
I love
for
this
the-
conversation coming on right now. I'm so excited.
For the most part, we
Let's
agree
get it.
on a lot of it. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe you like Iron Man more than I do, but
Sure.
for the most part, like I also like Iron Man a lot. I also like
You
Guardians
can't
of the
not.
Galaxy a lot. Maybe I like Guardians of the Galaxy more than you,
Probably not, because it's great.
but we match somewhere in the middle with all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
With
for
Star
sure.
Wars-
No,
with
there's.
Star Wars,
I think we agree on which movies we like and which movies
exactly.
we dislike.
So that's why I wanted to bring up
Way more
MCU.
than we do in Star Wars.
Exactly. Before that, like I
Oh.
remember when Moon Knight came out, like you would call me and be like, "Oh, you saw the latest episode? What do you think?" Like we talk about.
I
like,
love
Moon
Moon
Knight.
Knight. He's
Yeah.
not. I'm a little bit higher on it than he is.
Yeah.
But still.
I think it's a little bit too confusing for its own good, and because of that, it kind of.
Oh, but I like a bit of mystery.
I like the mystery too, but I feel like even by the end of it, it didn't really answer all the questions I had.
But I
It
want
just
more.
like left me with more questions.
Okay, that's fair.
Which
Yeah,
I'm happy to watch more. And like if there's a Moon Knight season 2, I 100% watch it. But
yeah.
it
it's
left
true.
me with more questions than I had going into it.
Okay.
And Loki did too. To be fair, like Loki season 1, but I feel like it was more of a well-rounded story, and because of that,
Well,
like Loki is my favorite.
Loki's a bit more of a character
show.
in MCU than
Yeah,
Moon Knight, so I
exactly.
think they put in more time
It
into
was
it.
easier. It was easier
And-
to jump into that.
I think he's a fantastic actor, and I don't know. I thought the show was great. I think we agree on a lot of the Marvel like Avengers movies.
Yeah.
In terms of like rankings, I think we're like very, very similar.
Yeah.
But what do you have above Iron Man? Because I think, are you bigger on Captain America than Iron Man? Oh, that was a big pause. I don't know.
The thing is with me with Captain America versus Iron Man, it's like,
and
I feel like Iron Man gets that praise a ton.
Very mainstream.
Of like very mainstream as like the most popular, the best superhero
Well,
from like
it was
the original MCU. Yeah. Like as a character, like
except for the Hulk, but like technically yes.
Yeah, but of the MCU like itself,
Of
like
this MCU that we're praising,
exactly.
It was the first.
It was like Robert Downey Jr. and like the first Iron Man was so good and like whatever.
It was, yeah.
I feel like I like to be a contrarian of like, oh, it's not as good as like whatever, but I can't deny that it's fucking amazing. Like
really
I think the first
it's
Iron
really
Man,
good.
The first Iron Man is really good. I think the second one takes a step down, and the third one I think is underrated actually. But I think as a whole, like.
We have the same exact view on that.
Okay.
Okay.
I think as a whole, like Captain America and Iron Man are very hard to compare against each other because like Iron Man's like the witty, like
hold
like
on,
quick, whatever.
So we agree completely. Because I couldn't have said that better myself. That's not even a point of comparison for me. Yeah. I love Captain America.
I do too. That's why
I love Iron Man for the nostalgia, and I think that. Even in the second movie that you were saying it goes down, I agree. But I think the character development that you see in the second movie is fantastic. I just think that the villain that they chose is very poor.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the third movie, I think it's super underrated. I think they crushed it still.
That's why I choose the MCU. You look at, we have this similar
opinion
on all this.
And yeah, because if we talked about Star Wars, this would go forever. But I love Chris Evans. I love Captain America. That's America's ass. I love every part of Chris Evans in every Marvel movie. Like he is true to pause. But he is true to Captain America.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It fits so well.
Yeah, he's perfect as Captain America.
In every movie, like there's not like a time where you're like, oh, like
Captain America wouldn't do that. Like
literally, it's you don't get a single part that you're like, yeah, that's just not right.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess you can say the same for Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man.
Because like I feel like before the MCU came out, I knew Captain America way more than I knew what Iron Man character was. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Chris Evans played Captain America.
That's weird.
I feel like Chris Evans.
That you just thought that.
Yeah, Chris Evans' character played Captain America perfectly, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man defined Iron Man for me in my mind better.
Wow.
Because
I couldn't have said that again. I couldn't. That was almost word for word exactly what I was thinking.
Like to me,
that you don't hear of Tony Stark. Like you just know Iron Man.
To me, Tony Stark and Iron Man are Robert Downey Jr. Chris Evans played Captain America that already existed super well.
Yes,
and that's the difference.
I would say like you knew Iron Man. Like for me, like I knew Iron Man, but I didn't know Tony Stark. And I think Robert Downey Jr. brought them together for me in a way where I was like,
we hadn't seen before.
I love it. Yeah. I need more of it.
That's fair. But because of that, to me, it's like very hard to compare the two. And like I probably like Iron Man more, but the movies itself, I think the Captain America ones are stronger. That's where somewhere we disagree. But I think the Captain America movie.
Yeah, that is somewhere we disagree. But like I'm not gonna like say he's wrong because I love every single Captain America movie.
So that's to bring it all back. The MCU is what I brought up, or what I wanted to bring up as like our official like media that we share.
Oh, but then now I pick.
So now your choice.
All right, we're gonna take a minute to pause. I'm gonna get a new drink.
I gotta piss too. And we're back. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. I hate to do this to you, but
what up?
Oh my god.
What are you doing to me?
Let's speed round.
That's fine.
The ending of the media section. See,
okay.
you mentioned a little bit Batman. Well, okay, let's give some quick context. We just took like a 45-minute break.
Are you
feels
already?
like.
You have the mic on?
Yeah.
Is mine too close or what? Is this fine?
I think it's fine. Talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, just some quick context. We just took like a
He was
45-minute
hungry.
break.
We needed to recharge the camera.
Recharge the camera.
We
get some
decided to
food.
go get some food from Versailles.
Walked over there.
We walked over there. Walked back. We're currently eating.
And now we're back.
We're back. What I was saying before, I believe I had just gotten into Batman. I think it's something that we bond over. I love Batman personally. I know you love Batman too. You love movies specifically. You're a big movie guy. I think where we differ is you like The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. Don't get me wrong, but my preferred movie is The Dark Knight Rises.
Fair.
I like the ending. I like hardships with a happy ending.
The way it wraps up.
Yeah.
All right, man. I love the way it wraps up. Sorry, there's a shooting right now on 8th Street.
There's an ambulance.
There you go. I love the way the trilogy ends as a whole, but I think overall, like, my favorite movie, like, standalone is The Dark Knight. But yeah,
and like that we differ, but I don't think it's the end of the world. But yeah, I think that was the most. I mean, because that's just my favorite. Like I had said before, it's my favorite movie, my favorite set of movies. So I think that's where we, I guess, relate the most.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not much is said about those. We love all three.
Mm-hmm.
We just have a difference in opinion on which one's the best. But like I can't be mad at him for saying The Dark Knight is the best. Like Heath Ledger just going at it. Like tough to argue against him. Same thing with oh my God, what's this guy's name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Thank you.
Bane.
With Bane, yeah. Crushes it. Does a great job.
But this next segment is the advice section. So I've asked different advice depending on things that I think each groomsman can help me with specifically. As we've mentioned throughout this pod, you've moved into this apartment recently with your girlfriend Caro. And over the months, I've seen the different layers of design you guys have added to the apartment. Yeah. And so my question is, I will be moving in with Carla soon, once we get married. My advice section is designing the apartment. Tactics, advice from your perspective. What works, what doesn't work, what do you care about, what do you focus on?
Okay.
Floor is yours.
I could do that. I think a big part of how we were able to decorate the apartment so quickly with success is honestly just through planning. As it's difficult to plan, I guess, when you don't necessarily know what the space is going to look like. But we had about a month before we moved in here that we knew we were gonna move in here. That we took advantage of, and we created an Excel sheet. And we went room by room. Me and Caro.
You both did it.
Yeah. We both sat down together and we made this Excel sheet. And we went room by room, determining what furniture we wanted for each room. And even for the sofa, we couldn't necessarily determine what sofa we wanted, but we kind of looked at sofas that we liked, and we took a collection of sofas that all looked very different, but that we both took a liking to, and we said, okay, the average of these sofas is this amount. So we made the spreadsheet showed for each room how much it was going to be to decorate it exactly to the way we wanted it. And we went living room, kitchen, bedroom.
What'd you put bathroom. The most focus on?
I'd say the living room. We decided to put the most focus on the kitchen, the living room first, because that's when you walk in. I mean, can't really see inside, but when you walk in, those are the first two things you see. As a guest, So we thought that would be the most important. Like even now, like 5 or 4 months, 5 months later, we're still not done.
Yeah.
We're still missing things that we both know that we want. But it was important to be able to look at that list and say, okay, we know that of these things, or like a rug, for example, a rug gets outweighed by a sofa. The sofa is more important than the rug. Right, so you get the rug first, or I'm sorry, the sofa first, and then later on, we still don't have a rug here,
But you still want one.
but we want one, and we both know that, and we're constantly looking, and it's just, I would say it's planning and patience, because as much as you want something to turn out the way you imagine it in your head, it can't, it can't all come at once. Realistically, I mean, sometimes it just happens to fall into place in that way, but a majority of the time, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think.
I mean, I think it helps that like you have a place that's like, this view is insane.
Yeah.
And like it speaks for itself, you know. So like you walk in and like you see it instantly.
Well, that was our goal when decorating.
Regardless
it was to like make sure that we have 2 sliding glass doors here on my left that you can't really see. But when you walk in, they're the first things you can see, and our goal was show off what's behind them. Let that take away from everything else inside.
Yeah.
Not as take away, but like that's like the main focus, because that really is the reason this is such a nice place.
Yeah.
In our opinion, like we love our apartment because we love the view that we get. We see everything from the airport to Brickell. It's all of this view of like north, east, and west. We get all of it. So.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think as I mentioned, like somebody that's been here from the beginning, like I saw how it was when it was like bare bones, up to until what it is now, and as we continue, like keep seeing updates on it, it's like really nice to see like, oh, we added these picture frames and we added this desk, and I was here when like I helped you move in like the little things in front of the table or whatever, like the
coffee tables.
Yeah, the little coffee tables or whatever. Like I don't know, it's
well,
just like the smallest things. And
I'll
it's like,
say we focus on
the fun too. Like
we focus on the furniture before we focus on the decorations.
Yeah, the core. Yeah.
Got the big stuff in first.
Yeah.
And then based off the big stuff, we were able to figure out what little stuff we wanted to surround it with.
And I'm sure that's fun too. Like
it
wasn't all at once. It was like, oh, we got the couch, and then like, oh, how exciting we got the couch, and like, let's move the room around. Like you guys originally had it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's move the room around.
It's figuring out how you guys like it. I had originally said it this way. Gato wanted it the other way. And eventually, I was able to convince her that this way would be better based off the table that we found.
The one that's there right now.
That's there right now. Which is why, it just things, again, and that's patience. Because we didn't buy all of it at once. We were like, all right, we're going to buy this. And then after we found the sofa, we're like, okay, what do we think is going to fit in this spot?
A lot of measuring, or you guys just kind of winged it?
A lot of measuring, I would say. We ended up getting the, what do you call that? The blueprint, I guess, the schematics for the apartment. And we saw, the room is this big, and we went, that's how we found the sofa at first. We wanted to make sure it wasn't too big. And we worried even. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I'm yawning. Plus, I'm like amazed at how loud someone's music is down there.
I think that's like a party bus.
Are we picking that up? No, we're not. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's playing Mo Bamba right now, actually.
Holy, your blank phone. It's going crazy. But yeah, we even after we bought the sofa, for a minute we were like, oh, it might be a little bit too big. And we ended up, again, just stick with what you like and figure out. We ended up finding something that meshed together very well, at least in our opinion. And at the end of the day, it also matters, do you like it? Like, if you like it, if it feels homey to you, if it's your space that you imagined, you created, then nobody can tell you otherwise. So it's a bit of a waiting game. I would say you gotta wait for your time, because if you just buy everything when you want it, it's gonna be super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, it's not cheap to decorate, to furnish an apartment. Even an apartment. This isn't like a house. It's an apartment. But you wait for the proper sales, and over time it comes together, and it really the super cliche. You turn a house into a home.
Yeah.
You give it your. That sounds so bad. Your special touch, like your mindset imprinted on this place.
Now that you're in the months in that you have, like, do you feel like this is your like home?
Yeah.
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 Did it take a little bit of time for that? Because like I would imagine it does.
It's weird. Like we just went to stay at my parents' house.
Yeah.
For a little bit because they were out of town. They're out of the country, and
where you had lived for
all my life.
Yeah.
All my life. Since I was born, my parents have lived in that same house. And it was like, I guess I almost realized it just then, that I was like, this almost feels less like home than this other place does, right?
Yeah.
Than where my apartment feels like home to me.
I mean,
now.
I feel like it's the first time you've lived with Gato also, so it's kind of like this is like your home with her.
Yeah, because I would stay with her in her townhouse in her apartment before, but it was like for a couple days out of the week. It wasn't like a constant.
Mm-hmm. You woke up here every morning.
Yeah, exactly. And I stayed.
Yeah.
Some days I would stay, and then I have to go back to my house to work because I work from home. But now it's I wake up, and I'm lucky enough to have a girlfriend who quite literally just makes me breakfast in the morning.
It's beautiful
because she knows I don't eat. So she makes me breakfast in order to like force me to eat breakfast. So I'll wake up and I'll turn on my computer and I'll look through my emails, and then I'll come back, and when dinner's ready or breakfast is ready, I'll sit with her, I'll eat breakfast, and then I'll go back and keep working while she finishes getting ready for work and she leaves. Because she's also fortunate enough to like be able to walk to work from here. But yeah, that's my advice. I'd say be deliberate with what you get, and also be patient. But at the same time, like it doesn't have to be a off the whim thing. Like you plan it.
Mm-hmm.
You take your time and you sit down together and you crunch through the numbers.
Yeah,
I'd argue don't take 5 years.
Yeah,
but like really.
I mean, you'll always be working on
exactly. Engage in it constantly, but don't make it something that in the back of your head you're like, I need to get this all done at once.
Yeah.
Because it only causes stress on the both of you, and at the end of the day, it's not worth the stress because it will come together.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
The house is the home without the furniture anyway.
Exactly.
So yeah. All right.
But all right, that was the last segment.
Good. That was the second to last segment.
Okay.
Last segment.
So we're getting into it. Now we're ending.
Last segment, all the pressure's off you. It's me giving you your flowers. So.
Oh, what?
So I'm gonna go into the different reasons of why I love you, the different things I admire about you.
Did I hyped you up while you weren't here, by the way?
There you go. So now it's your turn.
Shit.
So the pressure's off of you. I'm gonna go off on a little bit of rambling here now. I have 5 different things that I pinpointed.
5?
Just 5.
That 5 is more than I thought.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I've tried to limit it to 5, so I'm not here all day just rambling on about how much I love each of my groomsmen. But yeah, some of them are a little bit more sentimental than others. Some of them are just like stupid, like I like the way you look or some shit like that. I don't know, whatever. Jeez. Surface level stuff.
Nah, you only said that to Rick.
Exactly. Yeah, that one was saved for him specifically.
Makes sense.
But
I'm gonna eat while you tell me this.
Go ahead. But yeah, let me just get straight into it, not waste any time. First thing that I have to give you your flowers, Daniel. I love the way you are open to conversation. So this, I mean, as we've mentioned, we love a lot of the same media, but we disagree on what parts of it we love. And through that has come a lot of conversation and disagreements and conversations about disagreements. But past media, things about even real life scenarios and like politics and society and like whatever, bigger picture things, though we disagree on a lot of things, though we see things a little bit differently through a lot of things, you've always been completely open to conversation. No, that's something that I genuinely admire a lot because so many people would just be like, oh, you're an idiot. You think this. You're like, I don't want to hear that. I already know how it is. And like, though we like strongly disagree on certain things or whatever, you are completely always open to have the conversation regardless of what it is. So that's something I definitely admire about you.
Tip my hat to you too. It's the same thing.
And yeah, like it's easy to talk to you about it without thinking like, oh, he's going to think I'm this. He's going to think that like the way I do this is this way or whatever or anything like that. It's just like we have the conversation, we disagree, and that's fine that we disagree. We're humans, we disagree about anything and everything, and that's fine. And we can still have a friendship that, like, that's just a part of it, and we have the conversations, and it doesn't have to be avoided either. Like, we have the conversations that we disagree about, and we're still able to be friends. And that's something I completely admire about our friendship. Like, it doesn't get in the way of that, and like that is not something you can say about like everyone. Some people, that's like a hard, like, no, I can't be friends with the person if they disagree with me, and it ends there. And that's such a disgrace for, like,
that's what you get from Xbox, guys.
Exactly. Those are the additional tidbits you get from Xbox.
Literally. No, but yeah, that means a lot. No, yeah. I think you're the same way, though. I think that makes it easy, too. But it's hard to not necessarily argue, but to debate with someone, to like, really, like, express your interests and your actual thoughts with someone that, I guess, sees things the way you do, and which I see things like, I love to hear what other people think.
Yeah.
Like, regardless if I agree with you, I want to hear what you think.
Yeah, I like seeing different perspectives.
Exactly. So, yeah. And I'm always open to having someone convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, please, like, I want you to show me why you see things this way. And from that, you know, maybe we can, like, maybe you can't quite literally convince me of something else because I don't know to the extent that you do. I'm going to move this down.
Even if it doesn't convince you, I'm not
Hello?
like,
okay, bro.
It's just we're still able to have those conversations. And that's the point where, like, sometimes it's like, it only feels like you're trying to convince this person, and if you don't convince them, then the conversation is a fail, and like, there's no reason why it should have happened in the first place.
It's more about really sharing each other's perspectives, and understanding the other when we speak about it. Facts.
So I appreciate that from you. That's 1 of 5. Second that I have is love's a good game. So this is something that's come up as well with your love for papelitos. But past that, you play basketball with me. We play all the time, like the papelitos, any board game, Rocket League, whatever it is. Like, I grew up playing board games, like being competitive with like my family friends, like being competitive with my siblings.
Your family is competitive.
Even
your parents.
Yeah, my mom specifically is super competitive. Like, so that's
so's your aunt.
And my aunt, exactly, and my cousins as well. Like, we grew up like competing against each other, and it was always a game or whatever. And I feel like with you, you fit into that like perfectly, more than like really any other of my friends. Like you, I feel like grew up, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like you grew up in the same situation because of how easily you fit into that. Like, it's like you are very competitive. You're down to play any game, no matter if it's like physical or mental or like whatever it is. Like, you're always down to like, all right, let's compete on whatever it is.
Well,
so
I get the competitiveness from my aunt. Like I grew up, everyone, and my sister, my cousins, like mainly because like that was I grew up playing card games with my aunt and my cousins, and that was always a very like, I want to win. You know? And I think I get just the willingness to compete in everything. That's more so from my dad.
I feel like a lot of people, especially when it's something like board games that is just kind of like stupid, like just kind of waste time, but like hang out things. A lot of people just kind of push it to the side of like, whatever, let's just do it. Like, whatever.
I compete in everything.
And like, no, I'm trying to win, bro. I'm not trying to just like, whatever, pass the time.
And I'm not necessarily the greatest loser.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say it. Like, I do my best. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to throw a fit if I lose a game of like life or something, you know, but
you try to win. You're not just like putting down whatever.
Yeah, I'm not just there for a good time. Exactly. I'm trying to win and everything that we do.
And I appreciate that because I'm
very similar.
Somebody that's been brought up like that. So I want to people
and he wins and everything. And I will say, in all the board games we play, he just wins.
It's just, I mean, that's just because we play all the ones that I grew up playing. So it's like unfair for everyone else. But I appreciate that because some people are just kind of like, oh, whatever, let's just play and we'll get it over with and whatever. But like, you're trying to win, you're trying to understand the strategies behind everything.
That,
so
I fucking love that.
So that's another one that I genuinely greatly appreciate from you.
Thank you.
Next, I have childlike, and I have different layers of this. I put snacks you eat, shows you like, and toys. These are all things we have in common. The snacks you eat are very rudimentary. You like, I don't know, chips or like cookies, like things you like as a kid, you know, like you like mozzarella sticks and like shit, like croutons and shit like that.
The best part of a salad is a crouton.
Exactly, like stuff like that. And I'm very similar to that way of like, it took me a while to start opening up my palate. It's only really been in the last like maybe 5 years, starting getting into college when I started opening up my palate. I know you're the same. Like,
Yeah.
for a while, you only liked a specific set of things, and like it's only been recently that we've opened that up. So that's very childlike. As well as shows you like, I mean, it goes more into like media you like. It's like Star Wars or like Kid Adventures and Marvel and like shit like that. And then toys, Legos, like anything like that. We share a lot of that same things.
You know, but okay, again, and for the sake of keeping things going,
Yeah.
we do share that. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Even with foods and
Yeah,
mozzarella
exactly.
sticks are fire.
A lot of different things that
Chicken
I feel
nuggets.
yeah.
Insane mac and cheese.
Yes, yeah, grilled cheese.
Burgers.
Yeah, like simple things that are fucking amazing to us.
Delicious food.
Exactly.
Yes.
So very childlike. Second part of that though, I have old soul. It's an opposite end of the spectrum. I love that you're an old soul. You love, as you mentioned before, you love Elvis, love the Beatles, all the classics like that. So it's like music wise, your glasses. Marcus always says you look like a professor with your glasses. The wine, that specific picture from our engagement party that we're all like dancing or whatever, and you're in the back sitting there with a fucking glass of wine. It's just like, it's perfection. But it's just like, also, as we're mentioning the things that we disagree with, your takes on kids these days and like society these days and all that shit. It's
true.
like
I'm always old-minded.
Yeah, I'm always like, oh, this fucking old head, like whatever. He's just like, that's the way he sees life or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of the opposite spectrum of childlike, but I feel like you are both at the same time. So
true, very true.
So that's
can't even argue it.
That's my fourth thing, and then my final last thing, give you their flowers. I have, drum roll please. Thoughtful. So this goes into, as we said, like you've known Carla longer than you've known me, and I feel like it's something that at first I noticed through your friendship with Carla because I didn't have that closeness with you yet, and it's just like you always made time to speak to Carla about your life, her life, like her siblings, your situation in your job or school or whatever it is. Like you have always like put aside the time to give to your friendships, and not necessarily like I have my whole life, like they have their whole life, whatever. We see each other when we see each other. You've always put aside the time to talk to Carla, specifically in the beginning, is what I've noticed. But as time has gone by, we've developed the relationship that I have seen you prioritize, like our friendship and like the things I have to say. Even when I come over for lunch for like 45 minutes, an hour, and I talk to you about like my troubles at work or like the things I wish I could be doing or whatever, like you're always super like into it, like listening with like an open ear and like giving the advice of like, oh, you should try this. Have you thought of this? Maybe you should look at it this way. Like you're always someone that it's not only you're there to listen and like move on, you actually care about the things that your friends are going through and like try to give advice of the way that you would go about it or the way that you think we should look at it or go about it. And that's something that I've noticed, like I said, with Carla before I was as close to you, and now that I am as close to you, I've noticed it through the way that you've interacted with me and the other people that I see that you're close to, like Ricky or Jared or anyone else that you interact with on a very repetitive basis. So that's what I have as my final flowers to give to you.
Very nice. Thank you.
And I thank you for that because that's really, it's easy to pass that to the side.
I think
and you're always trying to help us.
Super, not natural to me. I don't know how to say that, but it's very easy for me. And I even think based off what I do, right? And maybe not what I specifically do at the moment, but like what I want to do in life with the whole insurance thing. Is the fact that I get a broader view of just about every line of work, right? And I think because of that, like I'm insightful into different industries, regardless of what I'm doing, because what I'm doing essentially puts my toes in everyone else's business. And I not to say that I like having an opinion, but like I'm always, like you said, like I am always concerned with the people that I'm close with. And it's funny because my girlfriend Kato gives me not a lot of hardship, but she makes fun of me. Because she says I have a million best friends. which isn't true. But I do have, you know, I don't have one or two. Like I have a group of these people that I consider my best friends. And I like to say I have the same approach with all of them, not just you or not just Carla or Ricky, and it's everyone. My goal is to lift people around me up, and it's, you know, I think it does everyone good. At the end of the day, if I know someone in a higher place, or if I know multiple people in higher places, I can connect everybody, and everybody knows each other and is happy and can help each other even more. So I guess that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I like to think it's really not selfish.
Yeah.
Although it is like my people. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. It's my
fine.
people that are doing better.
You want to bring up your own people.
You know, but that's with how is it, your hitters, like you keep your people close. Regardless, you know, we have Rick now that is thinking about a big decision, either moving to Texas or staying here, and it's things like that that I know, literally crying. It's brutal. I guess I'll have to go to Texas for the first time if that happens, but it's true that I want the best case scenario for everyone around me. I feel like that puts less stress on everyone around me too, which puts less stress on me, because in reality, like, I actually care about how everyone's doing.
Yeah, and I don't want you to diminish that quality of yourself just because you think it's like, I don't want you to see it as a selfish thing because you're helping yourself be less stressed.
Yeah.
The reason that you get stressed over that is because you care so much about the people around you, and that's something that comes from inside of you, that is like a very like just like sweet and positive thing that is not like a thing for everyone. Like, maybe I've said it with all the podcasts. A lot of the things that I'm saying, people don't realize about themselves because that is the way they are. So their perspective on life is just like, this is the way things are. Not everyone's like that. Not everyone cares that much about the people around them that they'll get stressed that the people around them are not in the situation that they want to be, or that they're stressed about their lives, you know?
Yeah.
So for somebody like you to have that perspective of like, you want to help the people around you because you don't want them to be in a situation, whatever, like that perpetual, like whatever, that's not something that comes naturally to everyone. So it is something that I hope you are like able to take in, of like, damn, like I am pretty good this. I am a good friend, like, to the people around me, and I do care about the people around me. And I, as one of those people that I feel like you care about, am someone that I want to tell you and give you your flowers of like, I know that you care about me, and I feel that you care about me, and your actions tell me that, not just your words. So I want to thank you for that. And
thank you.
And I want to specifically thank you because, like, I know it's like, Carla, you've known since you were 3. Ricky, you've known since you were 3 or 4, whatever. Jared, the same. Like, these people, for you, you've known your entire life. And I've only known you for, whatever, 8, 9 years at this point. It's been that long.
Which is crazy.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
But in the timeline of our lives, it's only really like a fraction of it. And I've already felt that from you. Like, I understand that I'll never reach the level of like friendship that like you and Ricky have, or that you and Jared have. Like, I know that, regardless of what anyone wants to say, like, it's just impossible for me to reach that. But regardless of that, like, I feel like a level of like security with you and Ricky, and even Jared, that I'm not as close to as you and Ricky, obviously, but like with all of you, that I feel like you genuinely care about me. I genuinely care about you, and I genuinely care about like our relationship. And I've loved how close that we've gotten over the years. And I love the way that I feel so connected to you and connected to Ricky. And like, I mean, you guys are my fucking groomsmen, alongside with the people I've known my entire life. And that means something to me, rather than just this thing of like, oh, I'm doing it because whatever. Like, that means something to me. Yeah. I fucking love you guys. And I want to thank you for that, because it's been so easy for me to love you because of the way that you guys are.
Yeah, we love you too, dude.
So thank you, man.
Are you kidding? No, it's you make it so easy.
Thank you.
You know, I think
it's a two-way thing, though. So.
It really is. It's funny that like growing up with Carla, like we were so close. And I think what's funnier, like, now that you say all that, is that it wasn't necessarily all up front. You know, like even in the time that I was building my relationship with you, I was also building a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Because even like we're in middle school, and relationships out of middle school, it's like these are my friends, but like really, what do I know about them?
Yeah.
You know, and it's not
Can
the
only
same,
go
and
so
especially
far.
with girls, like it's not necessarily the same. Like as me and Ricky, let's say,
Yeah.
or me and Jared, it's like we hang out with each other so often, and like no, like we really only hang out with the girls in middle school, and we do like the whole thing, so it's like this big hangout with the grade or whatever. And I think even like throughout high school, and even more through college, like it was just like such a continuous building upon a relationship and upon several relationships, and it wasn't just you and then Terry and Vicky and Gabby and Davel, and you know like you're that group from Miami Dade comes into play, and even like in John, that like I knew John but not really, and like I ended up talking and spending more time with him. You guys are the reason that I have built all those relationships.
Mm.
You know, and what you were saying, like you essentially throw those people under the wing of people that like I am like, hey, like I want you all to succeed. Like I want to do whatever I can to help you out because you're my people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's ironic that you know, like you say that about me, but in reality, like, you give me more people like that I put faith in, that I believe in that way as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
cool.
just it's crazy. It wouldn't be the same without you. It wouldn't. My 2 cents that when you were gone were, I was saying that it's funny because I strive to be like you in so many ways.
Stop.
No, I swear to God, I really do. And there's so many scenarios. Not that I like fight with Kato all the time or anything, but in the times that we do, you don't have our struggles and our frustrations. Like I actually look to you and Carla's relationship as like guidance almost.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think these people have it so well done.
Yeah. I mean, not to, like, me and Carla fight all the time too, and like we have our struggles as well. And it is like, and I look up to people as well. Like I look up to my sister's relationship with John, and like Kevin and his wife, and like even my parents or whatever. Like
Yeah.
as like role models, kind of in a sense too. And me and Carla's relationship isn't perfect. Like we have our things that we disagree on, and we get into arguments about, like even the stupidest little things or whatever, like any relationship. But it is kind of like always this thing of, like, to me it always boils down to, like, the way I see it is like we love each other, and like no matter how dumb these little things are, like that shit is inconsequential to like the fact that we love each other, and we love each other, and I want you to be happy, you want me to be happy. Neither of us want to be arguing about anything, no matter if it's my fault, her fault, both of our faults, neither of our faults, somebody else's fault. Like at the end of the day, we love each other, and like that's what I see as like trumps it all. So like that's always what I put ahead of like anything like that, and that's the way that I try to see it, no matter what situation we're in.
That's beautiful. No, I couldn't agree more. I'm telling you, this guy has all the answers.
I don't. don't put that much pressure on me. I really don't. I'm not perfect, but I appreciate you saying that, and the fact that you look to us like that is crazy. And you know, you could always come to me with any situation you're in, any question you have about anything, as I feel comfortable enough to come to you with any of that as well. So
I'm looking forward to our bachelor trip.
I'm super looking forward to that.
Going back to Bimini.
Back to Bimini.
It'll be a blast.
Round 2.
Marcus,
see Chief again.
We'll get you virgin pina coladas.
Yeah,
if you can show up.
We'll miss Marcus on that one.
Oh, sorry, Marcus. You're not invited. Everyone else, we're gonna go visit Chief. He's our boy. Hope you like Malibu and Fireball.
It's gonna be fun.
It'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the wedding. I'm very fortunate to have two of my best friends getting married.
It's beautiful.
Really, no, honestly, it really is too. Not only, I mean, Carla, obviously, that I've known so long, but you, that I've literally become. You were literally saying it earlier, like, oh, I'll never reach the level of you and Ricky, but but you will, because you are already getting there. Like
I
you
won't.
are
It's
on that
fine,
level. And I'm not speaking for myself, but for Ricky too. Like we see you on our level with us, that we get along so well with you, and no, we're so comfortable around you. We're able to talk with you. We're able to be ourselves around you in a way that we don't worry about anything. And I really think that's all that it comes down to. Someone that we can rely on when things come to the worst. And yeah, as far as you may see yourself, we see you just that close.
I appreciate that a lot.
So of course, dude, you're the bomb. I want to thank you for having me. This is my first podcast ever. I think technically my first podcast with video. I've done a podcast with just audio, and I was super nervous about it beforehand. But I don't know. Maybe I look like a freak through all of this. It's okay if I do.
I'll have to edit through a lot of this, so maybe a lot of the conversation.
Yeah, we've been here for a really long time, guys.
I'll edit through a lot of this, but I mean, for the most part, anything that's substantial and important, I'll leave in. Right. I'm sure everything that happened after we got food will probably stay in, because we kept it a little bit more secure tight, after that.
More compact.
Exactly. So that's good. But no, man, I've appreciated you being on the podcast. I've appreciated your openness in our friendship as well as this podcast. I know it's not easy to sit in front of a camera and speak about your feelings about anything, or especially about your fucking bros. That's not something that's easy to do. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for being my brother. Thank you for your friendship.
Yes, sir.
For your brotherness, whatever that word is. And I'm looking forward to, of course, the bachelor trip, our wedding, and our friendship moving forward. And it's only going to get stronger after.
It's only going to get better from here.
Exactly. So, before we finish off the podcast, we got to do what I've always done. Finish where we started, the intro. Do you remember it?
I think so.
All right, go off. Start off with
12
your first
inches
line.
in a foot.
12
right?
months in a year.
12 zodiac signs.
Jesus' 12 apostles.
Arthur's 12 knights at the round table.
And Lucas's 12 grooms.
Yes,
way to fucking go, Daniel. You killed that.
Let's go.
Not everyone does.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking through this long-ass episode of 12 Delves, episode 8. We only got 4 episodes left. If you've been a fan of the show and you've followed all the way through, I thank you so much. Daniel, thanks you as well.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Next episode, we have a very special guest. I literally don't know who it'll be next, but will be someone really special. We only got 4 left, so we're going to have a lot of fun. After that, we may have special episodes after that. But thank you for tuning in for this one. Thank you for tuning in for the one with the most beautiful view ever. Thank you for tuning in with the most beautiful, handsome man ever, Daniel Verdeja.
Lucas Smith.
Cheers. Our final drink. Peace out, everyone.
Collapse, I'm spilling these raps long as you feel them. To the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I